Nomad at Night, starring the one and only Nomad.
Yo, Super Nomaniacs, welcome to the show. This is Super Nomaniac Lounge with some extra sauce tonight, man. We got some stuff to talk about to you Super Nomaniacs, man. Y'all come on in, and as you're filing in, happy pre-Thanksgiving for those who adhere to the holiday. For those who don't, respect to you too. It's different for everybody. Turkey Day is Turkey Day, traditionally for most people, but not everybody acknowledges the holiday, for different reasons, whether it be religious, personal, spiritual, what have you. But hopefully everybody be safe and happy. And, for nothing else, that family connection shouldn't have to wait until holidays for that to really pop off. But seems like that's when the only time it happens. I know in Black families, that's really what it is. Family get-togethers, holidays, we don't meet up regularly to have dinner and doing all that kind of stuff, but that's the way it is, man. But hopefully everybody is happy and feeling good, smelling some food by now, some stuff getting pre-cooked for tomorrow, all that kind of stuff. I remember those days. Nothing going on in my house in particular, but that being said, man, we got some stuff to talk about. Of course, we're going to talk about what's on the thumbnail, and that is give Brian, what is his name? Thomas Brown, an audition at this point. Win or lose, I think we at that point. But we're going to save that. We're going to park that conversation for a little bit later on in the show. But first, let me pass it on to the Canuck, because we're going to first talk about some dynamics to the matchup tomorrow that I think has changed. And I got some reporting to tell y'all about and show you guys, to show you why I'm thinking this game might not be what you guys think, what you guys might have thought. But let me pass it on to my guy from Canada for some pleasantries the Canadian way.
All right, so I'm not going to do the Thanksgiving thing because we'll be doing a show on Thanksgiving for you guys. So I'll do the Thanksgiving thing on Thanksgiving. Otherwise, I'm going to give thanks anyways to all the Super Nomaniacs and Nomaniacs in the chat. Our homie FFG Styles in the chat. He may show up a little bit later on. We've got the man, Minister Charles Johnson, holding it down with us. Black Diamond. Hey, man, we'll just keep it popping, keep it moving real quick. Shout outs to the Nodge, Plankster. We'll throw it down to my guy, Triple R, as per normal. What do you say, my brother?
Right on. Thank you, gentlemen. And big up to all the Nomaniacs out there. Just real quick, this extra sauce, bitches, so settle in. So, Thanksgiving, when you get to a certain age, and it's mostly just reflections on nostalgia of what Thanksgiving was, like when you were in those impressionable ages, and like Nomad was saying, the house, smelled like chitlins and turkey and greens and the stuffing and the rice pudding and the macaroni and cheese and the candied yams and the biscuits,
giblet gravy,
and the dinner rolls, and then you could smell like the pecan pie and the cake and the sweet potato pie. And then it's like, oh, what's that? Oh, there's alcohol in that. Maybe I should sip on that. And then the mashed potatoes, and then like you get some, and then it's like, oh, don't forget the cranberry sauce. They put the cranberry sauce on the plate. Shit, stop bullshitting. And then you eat, and then you watch football, and then it's like you take a nap, because usually by then your team, if you were a Bears fan, had got their ass kicked and the game was over, and so you went to sleep, and then you woke up and you ate some more. And so, and then the people that were there that were influential in your life that you actually respected and loved, and then the people that were there that pieces of shit that you really don't give two shits about. We all got them in our families. But as those times have passed, I try to just be thankful every day, not in a religious aspect, but just in a spiritual one, of, hey, this is maybe somebody I love. This is what I love to do. And thankful for the opportunity to be able to do that, because there are times when shit goes cattywampus in your life and you can't do that shit.
Cattywampus, say.
Yeah, what I mean?
Yeah.
So Google it. It's a thing.
Yeah.
So I'm cooking right now. I got some shit simmering, going back up. So when you look at it like that, and it's like, just be thankful for the opportunities that you have to do what you do. For just you motherfuckers, no maniacs, being thankful for the opportunity to talk some shit about your favorite football on the goddamn internet. You know what I'm saying? Finding your tribe amongst the world, amongst these English, if you will, to quote the movie. You know, a movie that was Kedz? You be careful out there amongst them English.
I'm not sure.
Harrison Ford. He was a law enforcement officer on the Amish land.
Ooh, you got me.
You got me.
I'm a movie head too. I don't know that one.
Witness.
Okay.
Check it out. You know, she's because like she took off her Amish thing and she was bathing herself as they do by candlelight because I ain't got no electricity, and it was a full moon and it was my hammies over hammies. She showed her tits. So yeah, check that movie out. So be thankful for what you have, and thank you for all y'all and being with us and supporting us as content creators. We just coming out here talking shit, and y'all out here like, yeah, talk that shit, y'all. So thankful for all y'all too. Carry on, Nomad.
Man, that's hard to top, man. I think Trips got himself into a little cycle there, talking about all that food. Matter of fact, what you cooking? As a matter of fact, what you got in there? What you got going on?
Man, it's not even like that, because that was more of the reminiscing part. Now you going back into this bag. Thank you very much. As you get older and you don't have those vittles no more, because the people that used to cook them, they dead. You know what I mean? That's what happens as you get older. And so what you do now is like, oh, I want to cook all that shit, but it's like, I ain't trying to cook all that shit, because who am I cooking it for? And then it's like you try to pare it down for one, and it's like it still ain't the same, because it's like, if the family just ain't the family, but you have the opportunity to have friends, and you bring a little plate, and you make it what it is. But it's never like it used to be. And part of me just likes to just remember that, and going forward, it is what it is. But as far as the big gathering and seeing all your peoples, all your kin and all that shit, yeah, that's not happening. So, you do what you do. And, I'm sure there are no maniacs out here who feel me. So it's like, it's not to be, depressing or nothing, because that's the steps, the evolution of life, as it were. As you get older, and now you look at old people in homes and shit all by themselves, with diapers and shit, ringing for the nurse. We ain't that. So you got something to be thankful for, right?
Hey, you do, man. So you know what? Before we stop this conversation, let me go around real quick. Now, I don't know what you guys call Thanksgiving in Canada, but what do you got? What's your?
They don't. It's a different country.
They call it something.
We have Thanksgiving. We had Thanksgiving a month ago.
Yeah.
It's a different country.
Well, I still don't. They don't call it nothing. There's not a name.
It's the same thing. It's called Thanksgiving. Damn it! It's just on a different day. We give thanks for different stuff.
Wait a minute. So that was a pilgrim thing, right? When they came over here and it was like, hey,
same thing, just different day. Same situation.
All right. What's a traditional meal look like? Is it typical like it is here? Turkey dressing and all that kind of shit.
Yeah, you get everything that Triple R went through. You get, if you are Caribbean, if you are from the Caribbean, or if you are of some ethnicity, take your pick. You will incorporate some sort of ethnic stuff into the Thanksgiving formula. So for us, it is generally some sort of curry dish, jerk chicken, something like that will be thrown in on top of everything that Triple R said.
All right, give me kids. Give me one. Give me one. Whether it be something that cooked over the stove in the oven, whatever it is, sweets, meats, taters, whatever it is. Give me that one go-to thing that you go for every time, and you can't wait for it every year. That
On
one
Thanksgiving?
Yeah.
Shout out to my sister G. Like, shout out. She's gonna get some serious props right now. Big ups to Gian. So my sister, and it's the simplest thing to make in the world. She makes some some
green
fried
bean casserole, man.
Say what?
Don't say green bean casserole.
No. She makes and it's like this is just us. You're not gonna find that at anybody else's Thanksgiving, but you will find that at our Thanksgiving because it's something that my mom used to make. My mom used to make she makes like a fried shrimp. And she makes a nice little batter, simple battered shrimp. It's the bomb. And we have it every Thanksgiving. It's just something that we eat. And if you're asking me what's the go-to, it's kind of like a family fight. You know what I mean? Like every time we're at the table, it's a fight to see who gets the shrimp. You know what I mean? Because there will be no seconds on the shrimp. There will be none.
Wait, what's the shrimp like? Go through a description again, please.
You said some kind of battered
just a battered shrimp. It's like, you know what I mean? Just a battered fried shrimp.
Well, that's just very. I mean, so it's just regular, no seasonings, no jerk, no grill, no lemon, just fried shrimp.
Just fried shrimp, bro.
Y'all just don't get shrimp. Family.
It is the bomb. There's other stuff on the table that you can dip. There's gravies there. You know what I mean? There's sauces. If you want to dip the shrimp, feel free to dip the shrimp. Eat it as it is. Either way, it's bomb ass fried shrimp. And like it's the one thing guaranteed to be finished within about 15 minutes.
Hey man, if you ever get to Chicago, make sure you take your ass to Goose Island.
All right.
Just note that mentally.
Okay. All right. There's a lot of spots, bro. There's a lot of spots.
You say you're familiar with the cuisine.
They're gonna have to roll me out. They're gonna have to roll me out of Chicago, dog. Because there's some.
Hold on, dog. Like I know to hit up, man. Hey, we know Kedz a little bit. And Trips, I know you remember this motherfucker got a sweet tooth, man. I just knew for sure he was gonna go to some cake pie. Some shit like that, some German chocolate cake, some bullshit like that. But he said shrimp. That just blew me away. Shrimp? I'm like, I don't know that I ever seen shrimp at a Thanksgiving meal, but that's you just
telling you.
Now will you eat shrimp like barbecue shrimp? Will you eat the like bubblegum range of shrimp type recipes, or does it just strictly fried?
I'm not like I will eat shrimp as it, like however you serve it to me. I'm not afraid of no shrimp. You know what I mean? I'll eat the shrimp if it's available.
No, that crustacean, baby.
I'll eat the shrimp if it's available.
That crustacean.
I'm not that. You know, I will also do crab and lobster and all that stuff too, man. All that stuff is good stuff. But I'm not like
face in the place. We know, we understand, kids. We got you.
Yeah. You know,
what you going after, Trips, man? When you that traditional meal, what's the first thing you just can't wait for every year?
Well, that's the thing, though. It's
not one thing. I know.
Because being a kid that crossed that 200-pound plateau by the time he was 12, I enjoyed a mixture of the flavors at the same time. So I would get a fork, right?
Well, you wanted to see, yeah, Triple R is an experimental. You know what I mean? You know, there's people out there who are like, I can't have my gravy touch my chicken. You know what I mean? Like,
what the fuck is wrong with you people? But that's how that's your plate. My plate, I would literally, like, when you make a plate, you know how you have portions and servings and you can see the plate? You couldn't see my plates because there would be so much food piled in a pile.
Man.
And so I would just dig my fork into the pile because all the food was just together and mushed up. And so I would get like macaroni and cheese, and then I would with the same fork as some greens and some dressing or some stuffing, like especially inside the bird stuffing, you know, because where it's actually stuffed and it got that bird flavor all up on there. And then
I actually never met nobody that did it like that. I see this shit on TV. Never ever. I never met nobody that did it.
Never seen actually stuffed stuffing.
I never seen
That's
it.
what they call it, stuffing.
I've been over many people's cribs on Thanksgiving. Never seen it actually in real life.
Yeah, because it was like it's cornbread stuffing. So you make cornbread, and then you stuff it with other. It's a whole litany of ingredients. Then you just stuff that into the cavity of the bird, and then it cooks with the bird in the juices of the actual inside of the bird. So it's absorbing that as it cooks. And so it has that inside the bird flavor, which is different than any other dressing. Notice I say dressing that you make on the side in a pan, because stuffing is actually from the stuffed up in the turkey. Right. And then and so like you see Big Mama, as FFG referred to, pounding that in there, like she was taking shit out on Big Daddy, like pow, get that stuffing in there. And then that was like some of the best eating right there. But yeah, I can't narrow that down, dog, because it was like I had to have a drumstick. That's my shit. That's your boy. Your drumstick, don't fuck with me. Stop playing.
I like that Wayne.
Right. And then also a thigh. I gotta have a dark meat, because dark meat is juicy. The blacker the berry, the sweeter the juice. Ain't just for the ladies. It goes for the poultry too, baby boy.
You ever had? I tried to imitate my grandma one year and made some Cornish hens on it, and like put it all together. Put some Cornish hens on top of that thing. And just made it all together. That shit was pretty good, man. I ain't gonna even lie to you.
Well, nowadays it wasn't so much as prevalent, or I think down south it was, but they frying the turkeys now. A lot of people can't eat
turkey no more because of that trip. Just because of that. After I ate that fried turkey, it was over. Well, you can't like how do you go back to eating regular turkey after that?
It's just when you experience those different flavors. And so it's a beautiful thing. Shit, just be thankful for your motherfucking goddamn taste buds, as long as you can taste some stuff. The sweet, the salty, the savory, the bitter, the tart, the, whatever your joint is, the salty, or the crustacean. All right, I see you, kids. Right on, Canada.
Yeah, I'll do all them things. I'm the same way though, Trip. I'll do all them things together too. And it's how you learn what don't go together, as well as what works real well. Like what the hell were we eating the other day?
You can put all that shit in a blender, it tastes good. Every last bit of it. Put it in a blender.
Well, you know why there's a shop on the west side of Chicago, near Humboldt Park, where it's a soul food lady, and she makes egg rolls, but it's like Thanksgiving dinner in an egg roll. So it's all these ingredients or dishes that we've been talking about that she makes, and then takes a scoop of this, take a scoop of that, and wraps it up in the egg roll and fries it up. And so it's like Thanksgiving dinner in an egg roll.
So I'll be honest with you guys. And by the way, FFG put out that pineapple upside down cake. That shit is the bomb. Like whenever that shit showed up, that shit's good. That shit's good as fuck, man.
Well, that's nice. That's nice, but it ain't fucking with no German chocolate.
I say that.
Mrs. Oh God. See, now you hold on. Let me take a drink. Hold on.
You ever ate that 7-Up pound cake though?
Cheers to y'all. Cheers, everybody. No maniacs.
Hell yeah.
Cheers. Yeah, that's a good. But Mrs. Porter, she worked with my aunt in the public school system. She was the custodian, and my aunt taught special ed, and they were friends. But Mrs. Porter was a baker, hood baker, that she did in her kitchen. She made the best donuts, and they nice rolled up, and then they open up like a little clam, and you put the butter in there, just melt all down in there because it's all golden top. And then she made German chocolate cakes, 3 layers of just homemade goodness. She made pound cakes, butter cookies, and then chocolate chip cookies. And if you asked her nicely, she would throw some nuts in there for me for my cookies. And then like for the holidays, she was like, popular. So the kitchen, her house just always smelled like that. And so my aunt and her, they would be in the kitchen gossiping. and she was like a chain smoker, like a motherfucker smoking Winston's. You know, she was an old black woman that was about 6'2", 220.
Damn.
So like, yeah, she wasn't fucking around. And so I would go sit up front, and she had the big TV that had the stereo in it, you know, with the record player, and one console unit with the big speakers on the side that took up the whole side of the fucking room. And then she had plastic on the furniture, and it was always hot in there because she was always cooking. So the oven was always on, you know, 450 fucking degrees all day long.
I thought we were going into a dark place for Triple R.
No, it's a good place. It's a good place, but there was some darkness in that good place.
All right.
I know what you mean, man.
Because it was a Chicago apartment, so they're very long, and I would be in the front, but it would still be hot as fuck. And her back porch was an enclosed back porch, but it still got cold. But she would store her cold shit out there. Even if she opened that, it was still hot as fuck. And then with the plastic furniture, and it was like, stop. But yeah, that was a nice holiday memory because of the aromas of the baked goods that was going on in the crib over there on over there by the 75th and Stony Island.
I would say this, Trip, and this is like I ain't no Thanksgiving guy by no means. I don't really care for the food that much. To be honest with you, I always go for I love the hams. My mother makes this
the ham.
She makes this homemade barbecue sauce, mustard mixed glaze with some honey in it, and puts it on the top of that ham. And for whatever reason, that shit is off the chain next to some damn macaroni and cheese, which is the second thing I always go for. That's pretty much it. I don't really care for nothing else, man. But I'm gonna tell y'all some quick game changers.
Wait, hold on, real quick. The ham, they didn't make it the crib. They were honey baked ham. That was the name of the company. Yeah, and they had a couple locations, and they just go buy ham from Honey Baked.
Them spiral hams you talking about? You like them?
Yeah, those joints.
Change. Man, one time matter of fact, the last time I was working and mentoring kids, I was out here and they had a get together for the kids on Thanksgiving, and I went, and it was like a potluck thing, man. So, you know, people's parents brought stuff. It was all kind of food in there. Man, dude, I don't know if y'all ever heard of it, but to my knowledge, I had never witnessed nothing like that. So come find out, this lady made this dude's mother made this 7-Up ham in a bag, in like one of those oven bags, like poured a bunch of 7-Up in there, put some pineapples, some kind of something in there with some what do they call that stuff? Those little things you put on top of the ham.
Chives. Cloves.
No, those are cloves.
Cloves.
Yeah. Man, dude, blew me the fuck away. I'm not fucking playing with you. This shit was the best ham. I hate to even say, I pray to God my mother don't never see this show and find out I'm doing this and find out I said somebody else's ham is better than hers. But God damn, that motherfucker was so good. Has anybody ever heard of a 7-Up baked ham in a oven bag? Never heard.
Yeah, you put a 7-Up, pineapple, some cloves, and I think that and the pineapple as the sweetener. But if you don't have pineapple, you can use brown sugar.
It is a game changer. I don't know if I'm telling you, I ain't never had a ham.
Or you can use both, actually.
Ooh, that shit was off the chain, man.
Because the glaze is, I believe it was mostly a brown sugar, but there could be pineapple / brown sugar glaze for the honey glaze ham. Not actually honey, or it could be honey. Whatever fucking sweetener you want to use, but I think they were using honey. But you can't use pineapple with that shit. Yeah.
Hey boy, Trish, ain't them spiral hams just custom made for sandwiches the next day for the rest of the goddamn?
Yeah. Because it's all sliced down, all the flavors going all up in them joints. And all right, since we peoples, no maniacs, you know, all the super no maniacs, specifically we peoples. So as Kedz said, you know, me being at Mrs. Porter's were some dark times in my life. It wasn't dark, but she had a subscription to Ebony and Jet magazine.
Oh Lord.
And you know, Jet had a beauty of the week, and she had the subscription, so it was like a year's or 2 or 4 because she ain't throw shit away on the table, and so I would get to know the Jet Beauty of the Week and their likes and dislikes and such. So it wasn't dark, but it was.
Into the psyche of the Triple R now.
Hey, FFG, you like your mom. My mom always makes a bone-in ham. My family usually we the bone-in ham family. Every now and again, somebody's boyfriend or girlfriend will come bring something, and it's a spiral ham. But generally, all my family always ate the bone-in ham. To this day, that's still true. I know I can go over there right now. There's probably 7 of those motherfuckers waiting to get on the table tomorrow. So, yeah, man, big family, a lot of food. All right, so one more thing before we get into some football. I don't know about y'all, but typically this time of year, my family is, somebody, we drink, man. People in our family drink, man. Everybody bring the spirits over on Thanksgiving. Shit, we lucky if we get away from that motherfucker without somebody tearing up all the goddamn furniture around that bitch. But that's it's always something when they start to drink. So what's y'all's go-to drink in the family? What do people usually do in your family for drinks during that holiday, kids?
It depends.
No eggnog and no shit like that, because we'll start that shit on Thanksgiving.
I will do that. I'll do eggnog, a little bit of nutmeg. How? Boom! A little bit of nutmeg on that eggnog. I'll do that with a spiced rum. Maybe even a Kraken, like that's a Kraken, maybe an Appleton's. That I'll do, but outside of that, I'm kind of just I'm like a whiskey and rum drinker. Period. That's what I'm gonna be drinking if I'm drinking at all.
Family joins in the festivities. Everybody's into it.
That's like, yeah, you know what I mean. Like we were either drinking whiskey for the most part, or we're drinking rum. Couple of beer heads here and there, and if we're drinking beer, it is whatever. We got completely different beers here than you guys got over there, though.
You know what's funny? Minister Charles is talking about he makes old fashions.
Okay.
My friend just went and got the ingredients for that. She's been talking about that shit for a month, and just went and got the ingredients. I don't know what the name of that shit is in there. She just got it.
Yo, those are stiff, guy. Like those are stiff, bro.
Really?
I had one relatively recently. I had my first one maybe 2 years ago. I was like, damn, what the hell? That's a good drink.
Yeah, I never I wasn't really in a drinking kind of family. They just kind of sipped. When I was a shorty, my Uncle Bud was from the South, so he would have a little moonshine around the holidays. And, my go-to was the eggnog. I'm just in hog heaven. 200 pounds, duh. So the eggnog was a big part of that. Just because we had it in the pints or the liters, rather the tall.
You ever make your own?
What was it? What you said?
I did once.
Yeah.
What you said? What you said is?
The liter, the pint.
Pint of what?
Eggnog.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that, and then depending, like my cousin, he would like make like the Tom Collinses or old fashioned kind of little basic drinks, or he would sip on a little scotch. And other than that, it's just kind of like wine. Nothing big around alcohol.
That's what we got. That's what we got in there. Some damn vermouth, Minister Charles.
That's why I find it stiff.
Vermouth, that's some kind of hard whiskey or something. I just seen it.
Vermouth tastes like overproof rum. Like those, like the flavor of it, kind of what I mean? It's kind of like a punch you in the face kind of a flavor. And that's why, oh, damn.
Right. People that make old fashions have bars and they make like martinis also or some shit like that. They have the bitters, the shaker, and they do all that shit.
She wants to make the shit. I'm gonna taste it with her. I ain't gonna try to be. She likes sweet ass drinks, so I gotta tell her not to make mine.
Oh no, that's not what this is.
Yeah, that's not.
I'm curious about this one.
What's not a Roy Rogers, or what was the Roy Rogers with alcohol though? It's like Shirley Temple, but if you spike the Shirley Temple, just because hey, she's of age. So she can drink.
No, you're right though. There's actually a drink. I think the Shirley Temple's a Cosmopolitan.
There you go, Cosmo.
I think
Yeah,
it's
that's
I
kind
think-
of
I don't
cool.
know what's in that shit either.
Yeah, that well. So what difference does it make? You don't know what's in none of them shits. Figure that shit out.
That's
Oh
cool.
yeah, try to go for a Cosmo.
All I know is I had a martini one time, and my worldview of what a martini was, and with an olive in it, I didn't know that was like some straight liquor and shit.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
that's
boy.
you know. There's different kinds of martinis, different flavors, but it's what is it? Was it gin or vodka? Vodka martini. You know, dirty. You know, if you got dirty, you got to put a little more of that juice, that olive juice in there. You know, but if you're gonna get the martini, get those olives that are stuffed with the what's that shit they stuffed the olives with
I don't know.
the cheese.
Oh yeah, that shit's good, man, with the cream cheese and
The
ham.
cream cheese and the olive stuffed
Pinwheels,
in
they
there.
call them shits pinwheels or something.
Yeah, whatever that shit is. Yeah, get that shit dirty.
That shit real good.
But be careful with that gin, because that gin will make you sin.
Sure, right about that. But I man, Mo Fugger, you got Mo. What the fuck is an Irish car bomb? You might know what that is. I never.
Oh
heard
yeah,
of it.
that's when you have a shot of Jameson and then you drop it into a pint of beer, then you slam that shit.
Oh fuck yeah, y'all tore up every goddamn thing in the house drinking them
Oh,
motherfuckers.
that's a fist fight waiting to happen.
Well, that's why it's Irish car bomb. Boom! Explosion. You know how them
Oh,
Irish, throwing the fisticuffs.
Damn
Man.
straight.
I got all this shit you talking about, Mr. Charles. All this shit in the house, and don't drink none of it. Fucking around with Aldo from the bar room got me talking me into going and starting to try some good what is that bourbon? Bourbon is nasty as all fuck, man. I mean, nasty. I don't like it, man. Whiskey, it just goes down too rough for me, man. I got all that. I got probably about 600.
Don't get
down.
it twisted. Don't get it twisted. Whiskey is one thing, bourbon's another thing. They're different things.
I had to find out the hard way, kids.
I'm just saying, I can't stand bourbon. Whiskey's awesome. I'll drink whatever whiskey it is. I'll drink that shit straight. We'll have a good conversation, and you know what I mean. I'll know exactly how drunk I am. That's why I love whiskey. You know, whiskey you can drink it. You know, I want to get this messed up tonight, and you can gauge yourself. Love whiskey,
Dude. That like
gotcha. Yeah, let's go.
Yeah, I talked to my homeboy about it. They some big whiskey and bourbon drinker. They like to portray like they some kind of sophisticated motherfuckers with the cigar and shit, and they trying to be all sophisticated and shit. Talking about, oh man, let's try the Elijah Craig. The Elijah Craig won't let you down no matter what, man. You gonna like the Elijah Craig. That shit nasty as fuck too. It's harsh. It's very harsh, man. Bourbon is extremely harsh on me. I ain't no big liquor guy. I can barely stand whiskey, but my preference is actually Don Julio. Don Julio is the smoothest shit ever.
Well, that's tequila, isn't it?
Yes, sir. That is the smoothest shit ever.
It's a different. So apparently, tequila is like.
Well, hold on, Kedz. Hold on. What you say, Don Julio, huh?
Yes, sir.
Wait, so you like anejo?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh,
yeah, that sounds like a setup. That's all I know.
Yeah, it is. Because there are levels of tequila, and Google that shit. But one is like anejo, and that's a very mellow, moderate kind of tequila. Because there's levels to the game, so to speak. And I used to know all three, but I can't remember that shit offhand. Because as opposed to doing a lot of drinking, as a sip right now, you should go ahead and get your little smoky, little toki. Should I smell it? Let me inhale it.
Hey, I'm kind of glad
because you look at all the drinking, and that as human beings we willingly, sip on poison into our bodies. And it's like it gets you all fucked up in the head, and then you feel like shit the next day because nobody ever hydrates. But now they got stuff in places that you can go get intravenous IVs to recover from the drinking.
What?
That yeah,
Where do you go for that?
they got places
Go to
now.
Puffy house.
They got places.
Go to Puffy crib. Go to Puffy
No,
crib.
like in the mall. You know, like in the
Whoa.
strip mall and shit.
I'm not going there.
No, it's like you go in there and they shoot you up with like a bag of saline solution or wherever the fuck they sell, and it makes you feel better after a night of drinking.
That's fucking salt water, man. Let me give y'all a
No,
good.
see, look at Minister Charles. He said he heard of those things. So yeah, it's a thing. You know, I ain't making shit up.
All you gotta do is take your ass.
You.
Go to take your ass to the corner store and get an old school ass little pickle in a bag. Eat all that shit and drink the juice before you drink, and you won't have no problem.
So basically, we're saying like electrolytes. Is that what they're giving folks?
Yeah, some shit like that. Whatever it is, yeah.
Look at all the.
But it's their
Like
franchise thing now.
It's Gatorade for drunk.
Basically, and
Sweet.
so
That's brilliant.
Yeah, and it's a franchise. And they're doing a good business because so many people are goddamn drunks, and it's just incredible.
Man, I mean, it's like if you just know the functionality of what liquor does to the system, it really just absorbs the salt. I had a trainer in college that had to sharpen me up, man. Our trainer told me, he was just like, dude, look, just either if you ain't got a Gatorade, go get you a pickle, eat that pickle, drink all the juice. All it is giving you some extra salt in your body from what the salt that's gonna. The alcohol just absorbs all the salt out of your body, and that's what dehydrates you the next day. So you just got to put some extra salt into you, and you'll be fine the next day.
Well, but just putting yourself in that position is sometimes odd to me, because the more liquor you drink, the more the liquor tell you to keep drinking, and that's the worse it is for you. And it's like we just put ourselves in that position way too much as a society, based on tradition. Yeah,
Mr. Charles said they got a pill now.
Yeah, that before you go out drinking, you pop the pill.
I heard something about that. Yeah, that one I heard of.
It keeps you straight. Yeah. So I mean, there's scientific methods for you to consume and drink more alcohol. None of these pills or electrolytes after the fact stop you from being a total asshole while you're drunk. So there's that. There's still no pill or cure for that. So just be aware.
Yeah, like I say, nothing beats like Mo Fugger saying, picklebacks are good. Shot of JMO followed by a shot of pickle juice. That pickle juice will get you right, man. That pickle juice will keep you from getting them cramps the next day, getting dehydrated, and that nasty ass smell that comes out of you when you've been had too much to drink, and you start sweating the next day, just funky as a bucket of damn onions, just cutting up around that motherfucker, man.
And the segue into real quick before segueing into football, FFG saying tequila is silver, anejo, and respirado. It depends on how long they're aged, like whiskey. So that's the levels of tequila. So as you explore your Don Julios, and then it's like, hey, let me see what's up with that respirado, and they be like, oh yeah, let me see your credit card. So I mean, as it ages, it gets better. But now segueing into football, there was a practice after a game that the team won, so there was a party and everybody's out drinking and shit. And then the next day in practice, the coach was like, all I can smell is Coke 45.
Yeah,
It's just coming out of everybody's pores. And everybody looked like shit because wasn't nobody hydrating, wasn't nobody, doing no electrolytes or eating no pickles. It was like college. So it's like, hey, we party at football practice. Oh, we drunk and hungover. So yeah, the smell of alcohol just exudes from the body, and it's very malodorous.
Oh, good Lord, dude. I one of my homeboys from Virginia, man, he got ran out of practice one day, man. Defense coordinator told him, get the fuck off of my practice field. Don't you ever come out here smelling like that. That motherfucker smelled like dehydration, alcohol, distillery, puke, ass, and the whole 9 yards. I mean, he was stinking. Oh my God, he was stinking. He told that motherfucker, get the fuck off my field. Don't bring your ass back out here ever smelling like that again. That's just college boy shit. Like, or a regular guys would, you would regularly go out there and start running, and guys would be, emitting, liquor. But this shit was different. This shit was like from another damn galaxy. I was like, God damn, cuz you out here cutting up. Get the fuck away from me, bro. It was that bad. It was terrible, man.
Hey, speaking of liquor, a question for anybody who grew up on the south side of Chicago who might be of a certain age. Anybody remember Gill's beer? On 47th and Lake Park? Gill's, Gill''. It came in one of those big ass jugs that you put your finger through and hook over your arm and turn up to drink, 64 ounce, and it never went flat.
Damn.
You take the cap off, you turn it up, and then back in the day, you could take the jug back, and they would refill it or give you another one. It was Gill's beer. I think it was in 47th and 43rd and Lake Park. Over there on Lake Park, someplace southeast.
That's malt liquor, wasn't it?
I don't. It got you where you needed to go. I don't know what the fuck it was. Yeah, I wasn't asking their recipe. I didn't want to know their sorcery. It's like I'll just take my money and let me get my Gills, and you go to Harold's. And, you get your chicken and your gizzards, and with your sauce and shit, your fries, lemon pepper, and all that good shit. And then you got your Gills, and I was there. You go chill, go chill. You know what I'm saying? Go chill.
Yeah. I don't know what Minister Charles. The only thing I recognize on here, I heard about them 64s at Crazy Horse. Never seen one. What you talking about here? Sambuca.
Oh.
Kedz,
Oh.
Damn it. The dog was barking. You never had Zambuca?
What is it?
It's
man.
What is that? What is it, Zambuca?
So it's an Italian liquor. It tastes like black licorice.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, god damn.
Bro, it's ubiquitous down here. You find that anywhere down here. There was one night, man, I had to just down a bunch of Zambuca, and it did not work, man. It was so funny. Anyhow, I go to this washroom. Me and my boys, and we're just we have to finish this bottle in minutes. And Zambuca is just like a thick, sweet liquor. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not like
they call those liqueurs around here.
This is a straight up liqueur. Like, that's what Zambuca is. It's not like whiskey and shit. You know what I mean? It's a liqueur. Bro, I puked it up instantly. Like, and there goes Minister Charles. I'm like, forget y'all. I grabbed this thing and I just downed this bottle and I'm drinking this thing and I hand it off to the homie and I'm ready to leave. And I take 2 steps away from the cipher and come right back and blow chunks all over the spot. Instant violent puke, man.
It's kind of like Jägermeister.
I love Jaeger.
That's what it made me think about was Jaeger.
I like Jaeger. I do.
I mean, you like the beer blood?
Yeah. Hey.
But that's because Jaeger it's not like it's different than Zambuca.
It's different.
Yeah, Zambuca is in a league that black licorice, like sweet, like
That's like there's no mistaking what it tastes like.
Yeah,
right. You know what I mean? Like this tastes like black licorice. If you're a black licorice fan, that it's helpful. I'm not really a black licorice fan to begin with, so that doesn't help. But it was a situation. I tried to pound this thing. It did not sit well. We had to find other vices later in the night. I suppose was really what ended up happening after that.
What the hell is Goldenschlager? Remember that?
Oh,
shit?
Goldschlager. I used to pound that though. I used to carry that all the time.
Yeah, I just said that, Mofugra.
People had them little Goldschlagers in them little ass airplane bottles and shit. When you're on an air flight, people be walking around just drinking those like they drink them. What's that little?
That's how it started for me.
What's that little cinnamon tasty ass drink? A lot of females.
Fireball.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's kind of pepperminty like that, but not quite. But it's got flakes of gold in it apparently. So like maybe if you drink enough of it, you can shit a brick of gold. Maybe not, though.
Well, you got to pan every time you have a movement.
The upside,
So you'll get the flakes, but you got to work for it, homie.
You'll be doing that on the toilet after you drink it. But
I had a Jaeger bomb one time, man. I didn't like the way my stomach felt. My stomach felt like it was about to erupt. And I was just like, holy shit, man, I need this. And I never fuck with it again. Plus, it didn't taste that good to me. And Nas don't like that Jägermeister either. You know, that's a party like when you hang around a bunch of your white friends drink, man. They love that shit. The white guys I know, that's what they go for in there. Like especially college boys.
But but then there are those alcohols that come and go, like your Cisco's, your critique or however the fuck you say that shit. But then you got your old standbys like your Mad Dog 2020, your Wild Irish Rose, they still going strong, baby. Still going strong.
Man, my Uncle Bert used to own a bar, man, up the road. I went down there and worked for him when I was really young, and I wasn't supposed to be in there doing it, but he needed somebody to help him serve. And, I didn't really pay no attention to what he had in stock in the fridge and in the coolers and all that kind of stuff. I just started working. And one dude came in there one day, and he was just like, hey, man, he said, shorty, let me get a brick of red. I said, what? He said, a brick of what? I didn't know what he was talking about. I'm like, what are you talking about? He said, brick of red, man, brick of red. And then somebody came on another. He talking about what is that? What do they call it? Is it a pint or what is it? A pint quart? A Wild Irish Rose trip?
Pint.
Yeah, he kept them cooler full of them motherfuckers because that shit probably sold better than most of the shit he had in there.
Yeah, you can put that shit in your back pocket. That and some night train. Ooh, all aboard. Shit, man. That grape juice.
That motherfucker take that son bitch, take the top off that son bitch and put it to his head and damn near be gone by the time he put it down.
Well, you see, Minister Charles talking about a fifth. It's like, calm down, boy, calm down. We're not talking about, for the homies. We talking about for self. You know what I'm saying? For self, you get the little shit. For the fifth, you get a homies pass it around. You know what I'm saying? Now, for pour a little out for the homies that ain't there, represent. Coolie high. I see you. Go Cheese. R.I.P.
Oh, R.I.P., bro.
Hold on. I'm responding to FFG. He said, did we have a I used to make jungle juice in college. They used to count on me for my jungle juice. Put a whole bunch of fruit in a bowl, fruit concentrate in the, coming in little cups and shit, frozen fruit concentrate, like real pineapple, real orange, apple, everything. I throw all that shit up in there and pour a whole bunch of Everclear in there, some Bacardi rum, the white Bacardi rum, mix all that shit up, man, with that fruit concentrate. And I used to tell homeboys all the time, this is funny as shit, man. This story I'm gonna tell y'all real quick. Don't drink the damn punch, bro. That's for the ladies. For the ladies. Man, one time I made that shit, and he was having one of my boys was having a bachelor party. And I told my boy Twan, I said, man, don't drink that shit, man. He said, oh, no. He said, at least let me taste it. All right, and then get a little bit, man, but that's it. Man, that fool, I turned my back on him for about half hour. Next thing you know, that fool down there, asshole naked down there with the strippers running from him. He's slick, sweating. They tried to get away from him. The strippers came flying up the stairs. Hey, what's wrong with y'all, boy? This motherfucker done got a whole cup and a half, like one of those gas station cups full of it. He liked it that much and just was putting it down. It was down there slick. It's not like a motherfucker on LSD or something or PCP.
Shit. Nah, you can't do that. Shit, you got to tell the ladies, go ahead, go just eat a piece of fruit. You be all right.
Man.
I'll have a little nibble. You like that little pineapple, don't you, girl? I see you all glistening lips and shit.
Hey, Trips, bro, don't even remember a lick of that night. That's how.
Yeah, those the dudes that you learn. Yeah, I can't hang out with you, or I can't be bringing you to parties.
I don't drink like that. I'm just letting y'all know. I don't drink like that. I've been that guy. And I learned that lesson. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like,
you gotta learn. You gotta learn. Everybody gotta go through it.
That's something.
But if you learn those lessons, you'd be like, yeah, I'm good.
You're good.
Yeah,
I'm straight, man.
If you find out there's Everclear in any goddamn thing you about to drink, avoid that shit like it's got the plague, because it's a knock you out and get you all out of your wits kind of liquor, man. So, women liked it, man. Women know how to sip. Guys don't know how to do that, man. They don't know how to do nothing in fucking. You gotta be easy, man. Women will sit there and slowly sip that shit, and guys just be sitting up there hitting it, taking it to the head, man, and stand for the shit.
He talking about Mofuga talking about the Mickeys, the little grenade bottles.
Oh yeah.
The Mickey's wide mouths.
I used to think that beer was actually green. My dumb ass. But yeah, man, that's why I'm talking about holidays, drinking, man, because we're gonna be doing a show for mostly when my family's together, but it ain't no big thing, man, because I ain't no big Thanksgiving guy in the first place, so it's not that big a deal. So don't forget the show tomorrow. Yeah, it's gonna be a quick turnaround. We got to do 11. I think we'll be live at 11. I think the game comes on at 11:30, I believe. And so yeah, we'll be doing that tomorrow, man. But let's get into some football, man. Unless y'all got another drink story y'all want to tell me about, I'm all ears.
I've got tons, but like I don't necessarily want to tell the world. Let's keep going.
Well, tell us one, kid. How about that?
No. Let's talk about.
I got you, Kez. I got you. My boy was having I forget the occasion, but he got a limo and shit, right? And we went down to the Click on what was that 22nd in Michigan in Chicago there, and we was drinking LLITs.
I don't know what that is.
Long Island iced tea.
Yeah. Long Islands.
Long Islands, if you will, matey.
Long Islands.
So they sweet. And I like sweet tea. Who don't like sweet tea? Come on, that's what you chase your Thanksgiving dinner with, also sweet tea. In the mason jar with the ice and shit swinging on around. Yeah. So it's like, yeah, give me a couple of them Long Islands. Needless to say, on the way back home, he was holding me by my belt as we're driving down the street with the limo open, and I'm earling out the door.
Out the window, out the door.
No, out the door. The door is open because out the window you get it on the car. You can't have that.
All right.
That costs money. You know what I'm saying? You got to open that motherfucking door and get that shit away from the vehicle.
I agree.
You know what I'm saying? Let it splash behind you.
See, this is professional. This is professional.
Yeah. Right. And so it was like 3 a.m, so I could keep the door open without worrying about hitting anything because the driver saw what I was doing. And so he was like, "Oh Lord, don't throw up in my shit, or that's gonna come out of y'all pockets." So I was respectful of the car. You respect the house, respect the vehicle. And so yeah, Long Island iced tea, you think you just chilling? Nah. So yeah, tequila, nah. Too much scotch, whiskey, bourbon, nah. Gin, vodka, nah. Rum on a hot day when it's humid and you're not hydrating, nah. So it don't matter. Any and all alcohols will fuck your shit up.
Until your ass learn how to drink properly and responsibly to your body. You gotta learn how to drink, man. You gotta learn how to drink. You're gonna drink, you gotta do it. You gotta do it a certain way, or else you're gonna pay for it the next day. That's just bottom line. Bottom line.
The one little pieces of advice that I can give is, if you have lowered your sugar intake, you can drink like crazy. And at the same time, make sure that you're not drinking sugary drinks. You'll be fine.
Well, no, but that's not always true because there's my boy. I ain't gonna put him on blast, but I see you, G. And he would be what you call a lightweight because a 6-pack of Budweiser, and he would be stuttering and drooling and in the corner pissing himself. And it's because his metabolism cannot process alcohol like that. So physically, we're all different, and alcohol affects our bodies differently. So it's not
that's a different alcohol. If you're talking about if you're talking about like a beer, beer's
or any
too
kind
heavy.
of alcohol.
Beer's heavy and yeasty, right? So the heavy and yeast, I was just talking about sugar. You're actually really intaking a lot of sugar with beer, a lot more sugar than you would with just, an actual liquor. So if you're lowering your sugar intake as well as not mixing your liquor with sugary stuff,
Right.
you can actually drink, and I mean like straight liquor. And it was crazy. So like a birthday a few years ago, we'll just say a couple of years ago, I really lowered my sugar intake, wasn't drinking any sugary drinks, and a friend of mine came over for the birthday, and he's like, man, bought an awesome bottle of rum, sipping rum. It's like aged. We're just gonna sit here and we're gonna drink this rum. I was like, this is cool. You know what I mean? Let's just drink this rum on ice. I got an ice machine. We just chilled all day. You know what I'm saying? We was chilling, cheers up. And let me tell you, bro, we killed that bottle. And then I'm talking like it was a big old bottle. Next day I was fine. No residual issues. And at the same time, I was feeling real good the night before. You know what I mean? I was feeling great. I had a great buzz. But end of the day, I was actually drinking it just on ice, maybe in some cases with a little bit of water, and off I went. Straight rum. I've never been able to really just crush it like that, but crush away.
I like this story. Mo is in here telling Mo Fugler saying, I got my chat name. I can't put it on here. I got my. You know what? Yes, I can I can't because we monetize this show. I'm sorry. I got my chat name from my drunk friend. I was fucking with him, and he was pissed, and he kept trying to call me motherfucker. He was so lit, he kept slurring it, and it sounded like Mo Fugler. That's how he got it.
Motherfucker. You motherfucker.
Mo Fugler.
Motherfucker. Was he crying and shit?
It's like, hey, man, I can't put you in a ride if you're going to piss yourself, dog. Come on, man. Football, baby. Shit, let's go.
Nod is out there saying he could drink Captain Morgan and 7-Up all night.
All night long, all night.
But that's your body's used to it, and that's cool,
you know
man.
what, one of the oldest, like the old Dirty Man's Vans Club. They got them motherfuckers everywhere. I don't give a fuck where you go. It's a Dirty Old Man's Van Club where they used to when I was a little boy. These motherfuckers all ride around. You know what their favorite drink was? 7 and 7. Seagram 7 and 7-Up. Why? Who knows? But that was a drink, man.
Right. Another suggestion for you, Nomad. That's kind of sweet that she might like that could go with your tequila. Tequila Sunrise.
I never had that either.
God damn! And you talking about learning how to drink?
Hey man, I'm a very basic drinker, man. I don't really do I can't do too much anyway. I'm a weak ass drinker, man. So
there's nothing saying that you have to drink. Just remember that.
Yeah. I mean, I like having fun doing this show in particular, so I'm definitely sipping something on this show. Typically a Nomad at night, and that's how we end up having fun because I get to talking shit, and it always spills into something great.
But this is a good way to be frugal as well, and you and the lady could sip on the same thing, but hers is a little more, femaled up with the fruities and all such.
No, her gut's tougher than mine, man. Like she can drink a straight shot of whatever. I can't. I gotta have something to chase it with. I shit coming flying. Right. That motherfucker from Brooklyn. She said, "What? That's what we do, man. She take that motherfucker straight to the head. Jameson, whatever.
Brooklyn, BK,
Crown. I can't do none of the shit she does. I'm a punk.
So she grew up on Hennessy and Crown in Crown Heights.
Man, dude, that motherfucker right there, take him straight to the head. No
Crown
frown.
Heights in Brooklyn. For those not familiar with New York, go ahead.
Nah, it's all good, man. All right, let's get to Nas. Nas wants to talk some ball, man. He wants to talk some ball. So that's what we're gonna do right now. I'm gonna pull up something right quick, man. How about this, man? Before we get into the to what I was about to report out to you guys, what is it, Kedz? What do you think about this game so far? What do you think? You still are you still where you? Where you
No,
were
I'm starting to actually move a little bit more towards the other side of this thing. Yeah, just shout out Minister Charles Johnson Espino. You're a gangster. I'll just leave that alone. I wasn't even gonna put none of his stuff up. He's a G. I love this guy. He's a great guy. Anyways, but this week, so how about we start out with you saying who's hurting right now?
All right, let me get to it because you want to bring it out of me. I'm gonna show you because we need to talk about this right away, man. Because
All night long.
I've been watching Lion shit all fucking day.
All night long.
Here's the injury report. Carlton Davis, best corner, out. Taylor Decker, left tackle, starter, out. David Montgomery, they saying he's questionable, so they're saying the same thing about Amon-Ra St. Brown. But from all indicators, now I'm not saying, don't quote me by saying David Montgomery and Amon-Ra ain't going to play tomorrow, but I don't know. But it didn't sound good. Listen to all the reporters reporting it out. It just sounds like they're just trying to, make it sound good. And it'll sound like neither one of them are going to play. But, what do y'all think about the game now, knowing this? He ain't got his starting left tackle. They've already had a problem trying to keep us off. We've been able to get pressure for whatever reason against the Lions, no matter what. Even when we didn't have, I don't even know if we had the first time. I don't know if we had Montez Sweat, and we got pressure on him. And so, what do you think about that, man? What do you think about at least Taylor Decker not playing? We'll talk about Carlton Davis and these other guys later.
I think the other guys are great too, but Taylor Decker's definitely going to be it's definitely going to make things a little bit easier for them big guys, right? Hopefully we can get a little bit of pressure from either side. What side is he on? Do you know?
It's a left tackle.
He's on the left. Let's hope we get a little bit more pressure on that side. We haven't really been getting a lot, but hopefully we can get a little bit more with their main guy out. I'm actually more interested in all the rest of these guys here. Do you know about do you know if Terry Arnold is playing?
If he ain't showing up on this injury report, he's likely to play unless something happened overnight.
Okay.
He's not playing that well either.
Well, there's that, but he was hurt. I don't think he played in their last game. So it sounds like maybe he's back in. Is Khalif Raymond on this list?
They just put him on IR.
I was just saying they just put him on IR, right? So there's that factor too. Boy, if St. Brown and Montgomery aren't playing, that makes this game a lot different.
A whole lot different. What say you, Trips, about this whole injury report, man? I know Minister Charles saying questionable means. The only reason I would say I don't know about that, Minister Charles. Normally I would say you're probably right, but I was reading out. I was before we did the show. I made sure I did my due diligence, watching their reporters podcasts and all those guys talk about it, and from what they report, don't sound like either one of them. It doesn't sound good at all for either one of them. Will they suit up and try to play? Maybe. But I don't know if they get a full – David Montgomery always gets hurt about this time of the year. You know what I mean? Because he just runs so hard and strains so hard. But that's going to be huge. And Amon-Ra St. Brown is absolutely Jared Goff's insurance policy. Without Taylor Decker there too, oh, man, I'm telling you, this is a different – whatever you thought about this game yesterday, man, consider this. I got on here on the screen. This is going to be a game changer right here. What say you, Trips?
All right. Let me give my game thoughts in general. And it kind of relates to the report. But for the Detroit offense versus the Bears defense, despite what shortcomings or injuries the Lions may or may not have, their offensive coordinator is the guy that everybody's on his Johnson to be the next head coach and offensive coordinator around the league. what's his name? Ben Johnson.
Mhm.
So, he's going to scheme up some shit that puts his veteran quarterback of golf in a position to succeed, which means getting the ball out. And even though Amon Ra might be out, they still got the little fast Gibbs, and then the criminal that is still in the league for now. What's his name? Winston? Jameson Winston? Winston?
Why is he a
So-
criminal?
Jameson Williams.
Well, Williams, there you go.
You low down for that one, man.
Hey, man, this
Oh, him. Oh, my bad. Continue.
Gambling, guns. It's a long road to nowhere with that kid, but he can score goddamn touchdowns. That's why he's still in the league. So the defense has the opportunity for somebody else to step up because Sweat's kind of hurting his shin or ankle or whatever isn't 100%, so he's not all there. But he can't be the only motherfucker to be doing shit. Walker tries to do what he can do, but I think, he's kind of at his peak, Walker. And then Big Dex is constantly getting pressure and they're wrecking havoc in the pocket. And he's tall enough and big enough that he's putting his arms up and he's pushing right up the middle, and it's forcing the quarterbacks to get out of their pocket, so to roll out, which isn't Goff's specialty. So that bodes well. But the way that Flus has this defense playing because of his vanilla, soft ass play calling, where he came out this week and said again, well, individually, players have to make those one-on-one plays. And it's like, oh, you fucking Captain Obvious motherfucker. It's like, yeah, I agree with that concept. Everyone should win that. But guess what? When they don't, as a defensive coordinator, coach, wear all the fucking hats you want to, yo fuck. You put those guys in a position to succeed better by running some stunts, running some more blitzes. And for fuck's sake, if it's 3rd and goddamn 10, don't back the DBs up 18 yards.
You had
Maybe
to watch
get a little pressure. Maybe get a little pressure on the goddamn quarterback.
Trip, you had to watch Nomad at night.
And then when you see that it hasn't happened the first 3 times you did it, and you're doing it
He had to watch Nomad at night. He had to watch Nomad at night because I
watched the game. I've been watching the games. That's the fuck I've been watching it. It's not fucking good. It's not good. This is supposed to be his baby. And it's like all he's doing is just lining up, having man on man, and you beat your man. What kind of defensive coordination is that? That's just, hey, y'all go out there and play. It's like, well, and then it's like, all right. So after Coach Washington, got caught leaving his man gravy around Hallis Hall, and he had to be removed by security. They brought in Snow to help Flus because Flus needed help, but he's the defensive coordinator. Okay, fine. And then after Snow, Informer, lick you on that boom boom down. He boom down.
Oh, but Phil Snow. Phil Snow.
That's Snow, not the boom boom down Snow.
That's what I thought we were talking about.
And then this season we bring in from the Bills, Coach Washington, and it's like, well, what the fuck does he do here? Because all we're seeing is the same vanilla ass defense back into a prevent type zone whenever the shit gets tough and going, and that's all on Flus. But offensively,
he's good.
Oh boy, but yeah, that's just I had to get that out. Thank you very much. But now offensively, I like to see Thomas Brown get a little more Doo-Doo Brown with the rookie quarterback. Throw for them yards, get them points, y'all. Limit them turnovers like y'all been doing. It's like, all right, this is number 1 quarterback. We need to start winning because of this dude, not with this dude. So start winning, dude. And if you can communicate with Thomas Brown, cool. Which is also bad on Flus because you hired Waldron over Brown, and Waldron was the same motherfucker that I was told, I believe, by these 2 motherfuckers in this chat right now, that hey, it might be week 3 of the season, but Waldron, he's getting to know his weapons. He's getting to know what he has. Don't worry about it. And that some bitch is fired 3 weeks later. God damn. So that's another strike on Flus. So now we got Thomas Brown. You know, it's like people want to. I want to get ahead of myself, but people want to elevate him to head coach. But it's like I would prefer if he was just focused. Let him be the offensive coordinator. I mean, if we have to make him head coach, okay, fine. But I'll come from this school, and then I'll pass it on to you, know, Matt. I'll come from this school of thought. Stay with me now. Stay with me now. I want my head coach to be in charge of the team and have him delegate the offensive responsibilities to the offensive coordinator. Stay with me now. And then have him delegate the defensive responsibilities to the defensive coordinator. And the head coach does his head coach shit and let them do their thing. And if he has to make these challenge decisions, go for it, don't go for it, whatever the fuck, he can do that with a clear head. He can work the refs. He can see what's going on because they're focusing on their thing, which is why you fucking hired him.
All right. You definitely jumped ahead. You pulled the kid.
Yeah, I had to get it out. Because it all kind of flows together because we're going to be on national TV again. And you know how Flus likes to shit the bed on national TV.
He definitely pulled the Kedz.
Let me reel it back in because I got it's some particulars to this by position. Carlton Davis. All right. So him being out and the rookie over there, I forget his name right now off the top of my head. What's his name again, kids? The other corner on the other side.
Who? Austin Booker?
Just said his name just a minute ago. Terrion Arnold.
Terrion Arnold?
Yeah. The other corner on the other side. See, how does this play out dynamically during the game as far as the scheme goes? Number one, they won't be able to really attack on a blitz on Caleb. Not that often because you don't have your best corner out there and you got a rookie. And then you got a practice squad guy coming up to replace him. Or you're going to end up playing, what's his name? Number 22 that was here a couple years ago. What's his name? Everybody hated him.
Kendall Vildor.
Kendall Vildor. You're going to end up in a situation like that. So schematically, they won't be able to do the things that they normally would do. Send extra guys, tack up man-to-man down the field and really give defense problems that way. You won't be able to do that with Carlton Davis going, and you got a rookie on the other side and some backup on the other side of that. So that's out. So you can count on that schematically to be different. Number one. Number two, Taylor Decker. Expect to see, and y'all can chime in anytime y'all want to. Expect to see Montez Sweat line up on the other side. By the way, Montez Sweat is playing injured. So everybody wants to know why is Montez. What do we pay all that money to Montez Sweat for? He ain't producing. Montez Sweat is playing injured right now. And so whatever half of Montez Sweat is better than most defensive edge rushers in the league. I'll just say that. And so let's stop right there. Taylor Decker, the starting left tackle, that's to a defensive coordinator. He's like the cartoon of the wolf sitting up there looking at the chicken coop with his salivating at the mouth. You're ready to send pressure. You're going to send multiple guys at this quarterback from that side. So you're going to probably see Montez Sweat line up often over on that side to get after their backup. So what y'all want to speak on that? Kids?
Eberflus. Like literally the only thing I have to say here, right? So I don't know if he's going to take your advice. He's not aggressive enough to do so. I hope that what you're saying is elementary to Eberflus, and if so, that might make for a multi-sack game for Montez Sweat. I think it's kind of the obvious thing to do, and they probably have they've probably stacked two guys over there already on the other side for him. Good luck doing it on both sides, minus your starting guy, right? Brilliant, but will Matt Eberflus really focus on that? Will he switch him at all? I don't know.
He's coaching for his life, kids. You got to think about it that way. There is, when I say the writing is on the wall, I mean it's in big ass graffiti right now.
I don't think. Well, I don't. So I'm laughing because I'm about to say what they said about Justin Fields about Matt Eberflus. You know what I mean? Like Matt Eberflus is the type of coach that you win with, but not because of. You know,
I know this.
And to that effect, I don't really like. I hope they win tomorrow. I don't think they're going to win because of a masterful Flus.
It's his only chance. His only chance is to win out.
I don't care about his. I give two. I don't care about his only chance at all.
He's gonna scheme like his hair is on fire. Is what I'm trying to say.
I think his hair should have been on fire about.
Of course, it should have, but now
14 games ago.
Has he ever shown any inclination that he knows how to scheme like he needs to?
Yeah, I've seen flashes of it. I ain't gonna lie.
Flashes. It's been 4 years.
I've seen flashes of it, but it's too many. I haven't seen it enough to really hang a hat on that, man. And that's the problem, man. It's been like almost 4 years going on, and no real semblance of you can't get your teeth into no system that Eberflus has run that's been aggressive. It was a couple of games where you saw Kyler come off the blitz often. Like you could think of some of those games like that when Kyler was coming off the.
Those were dope. Like you're right, because he was able to dial up Kyler a couple of times, and he was able to dial up Jaquan a couple of times last year. But how few and far between that really is, and why he can't do it with maybe the linebackers who are available to him at all times, and you know what I mean. There's so many other ways he could do this.
I mean, you would think that a professional defensive coordinator, as long as he's been in the league, would know how to have a blitz coming from every position on the field. Safeties, corners, linebackers, all of that. How to run those stunts and know the situations when to do it, not just keep doing the same thing over and over. But, as far as the rookie left tackle, now it's time to see if Jacob Martin and his toe are better. Darryl Taylor,
you know what? Jacob Martin flashed like a motherfucker tripped in that last game.
Booker, so all these guys are going to have that opportunity to make a name.
Jacob Martin did flash like a motherfucker, but I'm going to get to that. Next thing is, we just talked about Taylor Decker. David Montgomery. How does that work schematically about what they want to do? Of course, they like to pound you on the inside and try to – everybody knows at this point, it's on film, every coordinator in the league knows that without Billings, that the Bears are susceptible in the middle of their defense. Unless they start dialing up some run blitzes to really shut that shit down, they're going to be susceptible again if David Montgomery plays. But if he doesn't, that inside run game with Jahmyr Gibbs, that's just not his strong suit. He can pop a couple if the shit's blocked up right and somebody misses a gap assignment or something like that. But that's going to be 1-2 plays here or there. But on a regular, just keep kind of feeding him on the inside. Nope, not going to happen. So they're going to try to attack where? To the strength of the offense, and that's on the right side. Their left tackle is gone, so they're going to go right and try to design a scheme around Penei Sewell on the right side. And so that's where you're going to have the stretch game going over there. The wide zone game is going to go over towards Penei Sewell. Penei Sewell is going to try to open it up for him. But on the left side, see, you can kind of slant your defense now. Now you can kind of slant your defense to overpopulate that side because clearly without the starting left tackle, they ain't going to be trying to design a whole lot. They'll try, but after it gets shut down, they'll definitely start going more power to the right. And so what you have to do to counter that, you got to just populate that side, slant the defense over. Get enough people over on that side so they can't stretch the defense like that. So that's going to be huge. If David Montgomery doesn't play, it's going to be huge, bro. Let's just stop there and talk about David Montgomery. We know what he brings to the table, kids. He's a beast of a running back, strains for every inch, everything that he gets. Without him there, that particular personality that they like to play with is not going to be available, man. So I don't think he's going to play, but I could be surprised tomorrow.
I have no clue. I did take a quick look at the hit that sort of put him into question for this game on Thursday. It's interesting. We'll see if he actually does play. Him not playing is a huge blow to this team But I will say I still expect him to put up just about the same numbers on the ground with Jahmyr Gibbs anyhow. The fact of the matter is this is more of a change of pace situation. So hopefully that allows Chicago to dictate things a little bit better because they can't utilize that change of pace. There's not going to be as successful north and south, but again, we're missing an Andrew Billings. So, 6 of one, half dozen of the other there. If Montgomery isn't playing, as far as I'm concerned, though, not being able to fully rely on that run game, minus an Amon-Ra St. Brown too, that's where things get very interesting to me. It's sort of the collection of all of these guys.
We'll save that one, kids. I'm gonna feed you again on Amon-Ra, but let's talk about David for now. I think that's gonna be just monumental if he doesn't play.
Well, you see, but the way just this whole universe is going, if Monty does not play, whoever his replacement is gonna, make a big play. Because that's just the way this Lions team has been operating. Because, they've gone through their paces. They've gotten their asses kicked. They've drafted high for a lot of years, and they've built a solid team. Then they bring in Monty, the free agent, who is a heart and soul kind of leader kind of guy, puts it all out there every time. And, the players respect that. The locker room respects that. The coaches respect that. And they accentuate that. And so the whole team chemistry is there already. So even though he may not play, what he brings, emotionally, he'll still supply on the bench. But on the field, as far as running between the tackles, there's talent on the offensive line, and there are holes because Monty and Gibbs be hitting those holes inside and out. So whoever the backup is theoretically going to hit those same holes if they're there. And, and just the way this run defense is on this team, they are susceptible to be gashed.
I just knocked on wood to jinx your ass, just so you don't jinx us, man. Knocked on wood. I'm doing it. Damn it. All right, we're going to get – all right, David Montgomery. We spoke enough about that, man. Amon-Ra St. Brown, absolutely – probably everything that they do is built around what Amon-Ra St. Brown can do, whether he's in the slot, out wide, jet motion, all of the stuff that he does. Plus, no Khalif Raymond, kids. No Khalif Raymond. He's also that wild card that he's a dynamic piece to that offense and really makes it complicated to get everything covered up. You got both of those guys flowing and going, and David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs running up the middle. You got a fucking problem. That's why they're putting up like 40 points on everybody. It's a lot to deal with, man. You know what I mean? It's basic stuff. Very, very basic stuff, but it's hard to stop when they execute with that offensive line. It's not like everybody wants, and I'm just going to briefly talk about this. Everybody wants Ben Johnson and thinks he's the next thing, next to Jesus Christ himself. But unless he brings that offensive line over the fuck here with him, he's just going to be a basic fucking coordinator because what he does ain't fucking particularly special. He's got an offensive line that helps him pull that shit off. Period. Let's just put that out there. But Amon-Ra St. Brown, this dude does so many things, man. And you know what? Traditionally, in the last couple of games, he wasn't tearing us up like he tears up most other teams. They do a pretty good job against Amon-Ra St. Brown, but it looks like, possibly he might not play. What do you think? What kind of impact do you think that's going to have, kids? You already started into it. You might as well finish now.
I was just saying that the collective situation is a little bit grander than the sum of their parts is really what I'm saying. So if you bring both of those guys together and you minus them off of this particular team, you've really negated both the pass and the rush, so that there's three guys you have to actually key into now. Sam Laporta is one of them. He's had a really down season. Jameson Williams is the next one, right? You got key into Jameson Williams. He's going to be running around there. Final guy you got to key into is Jahmyr Gibbs in both the pass and the rush. So you kind of know exactly where they're going with all of these balls. For the most part, Jahmyr Gibbs, right? Like that's kind of where they're going with these any passing attempt. So he's going to have a big game is really what I was saying before. It's going to be a Jahmyr Gibbs game. Glad I have him in at least one league. I'll have to check myself on my David Montgomery league. You know what I'm saying? But I think the sum of their parts, it's a huge situation not having him out there as a member or as their number one wide receiver. Jalen Johnson does a great job of covering him under normal pretenses. That's just what happens. He kind of swallows him up and makes him invisible for that offense when it's Chicago versus Detroit. Right now, I don't know if anything else happens besides Jalen Johnson doing the same thing to whoever has to step into that number one position. And then you're really looking at their fifth and sixth wide receivers. So passing for Jared Goff just got wicked tough, minus, and I'm on Ross St. Brown.
Chi-Town Minutes just blessed us with a $4.99 super chat. Chi-Town Minutes, I'm giving you a salute. Wish you could see me. Thank you for the super chat. He said they're going to kill us on the ground. I don't know if you've been watching the whole time, but this injury report and what I was reporting out was basically, I'm paraphrasing what the reporters out of Detroit are saying. They're saying David Montgomery and Amon-Ra St. Brown don't look so, I guess, positive to go into this game. And so that's why we talking about this injury report. I don't know that they're going to tear us up on the ground without him and without that starting left tackle. I know they're going to make some hay on the ground. I don't know about what they normally do to other teams on a normal basis. I don't know about that, man. I might have to disagree with that one, Menace, because I think this is boding well for the team, man. If they ain't never won a game since 2016 on Thanksgiving. You know what I mean? I think we got a good chance to, just because we match up against them well, I think we got a good chance of stifling those dudes. But thank you, man. I appreciate you so much. Chi-Town Minutes for the super chat. Trip, you was about to say something.
Oh, yeah. Obviously it's going to be a hit to their offense because St. Brown's one of, their go-to guy. So Goff has that connection with him. So anybody who would stand in for him, they won't still have that same, bond. But, their offensive coordinator is going to scheme up some stuff. And it really won't matter who the receiver is if, we're running these soft-ass zones. So it don't matter, all they do is just sit around in that zone and Goff will find him because he's good like that. Mm-hmm. So, you got to get that pressure. So, it will hurt the 10-1 Lions who are, trying to be one of the best teams in the league to have their top receiver out. But, their mentality in that locker room, next man up. We've seen the fiery after the post-game speeches from the crazy-ass coach. It's like, dude, the roids are not good for you, dog. Not good for you. But he don't hit me, though. But, they're rolling like that, so we're going to have to bring the heat. The defense is going to have to change the conversation of what Detroit wants to do, as opposed to, well, let's see what they're doing. Let's try and stop them. No. We can't have that. And we especially got to take advantage if two of their cogs aren't on the field as Monty and or St. Brown.
You know what, man? All I know is I was about 50-50 yesterday and the day before that about this game. But the more and more I read the injury reports and how beat up this team is, major injuries, man. Another thing, they weakened their team, and what's interesting about it is, I don't know if you guys heard of James Houston, the edge rusher. James Houston got him, I think, 2022 in like the 6th round, right? Tough. I mean, he's one of Deion's guys from Jackson State, as a matter of fact. Real good, solid player, man.
Yeah, he was a dude that was pushing Braxton Jones back constantly.
Oh, just worked the shit out of him. He's got all kind of potential, but for whatever reason, man, I think it was a year ago he he broke his ankle or something, did something to his ankle, tore some ligaments or something in his ankle. I think he ended up having to have surgery or something. Pretty much missed almost a whole season because of it. And for whatever reason, in that defense, now remember, this is a 3-4 defense. He's got to play coverage too. So he's a linebacker / edge rusher in a 3-4. And so his responsibilities ain't quite what, say, a Montez Sweat has to deal with from a day-to-day basis. He got hurt. He got hurt, and he hasn't really been the same since. And they cut him. And they cut him today, or yesterday, I believe. Let me see. Chi-Town Menace has another. Thank you, Chi-Town. He says Jalen admitted he might shadow St. Brown, but like last week, who's going to defend the second and the tight end? You know what? Hold on to that thought, Chi-Town Menace, because when we get back around to the defensive side of the ball, there's some stuff we need to talk about too with Tyreek Stevenson and Terrell Smith and that whole thing. That situation has to be talked about too. So hang in there, man. Chi-Town Menace is blessing us like I don't know what. He just hit us with another one, man. So we got two of the same. I'm looking at the same super chat. Anyway, what were we talking about? James Houston. So this funny thing that happened, man. I'm about to share my screen right quick. It's just about to be funny, man. Listen. Hold on. Share the screen.
Let me just read this.
This guy right here, man. So this happened 2 weeks ago, man. The guy shat himself, man, on the field. On the field. How did this happen? And then 2 weeks later, you end up being cut. Explain that to me, man. Explain that to me. Anybody? Nobody? How this man up here with shit down his pants? Nobody has anything to say. And I was hoping
the before the game, he had some Thai food. He thought it was gas. It was wet. He was wearing white pants. What you gonna do?
That's exactly what went down. It's them burritos early morning burritos. I'm saying,
kids, I've seen some shit on the field. I've seen actually guys that could not come out the game because they had to go piss. We was in the middle of a battle, and just like, man, ain't nowhere to piss out here, man. Motherfucker was like, well, just piss. Just piss. You out here sweating already. You stink as it is. Just piss. But never in human, I've never seen this. Never seen this. But anyway, it's funny. It's just a funny story, man. James Houston got cut yesterday, got claimed today by the Cleveland Browns. I was hoping that we would take a flyer on him. I think he would have been a good addition because I truly believe that him playing.
I think we got enough shit going on already.
He could.
Yeah,
that's a nice zinger, but you can't tell me we couldn't use this guy. This guy got 8 sacks. He got 8 sacks in his rookie season. He got cut. He got cut his rookie season, and they brought him back onto the practice squad. He battled his way onto the roster for the 53 and took off from there. This dude got hella potential, man. I'm just saying.
Look, Matt Eberflus knows well how to shit down his own pants already. He already proved that to all of us. We don't need anybody else pooping their pants on the sideline.
All right. So let's get into the nitty gritty. And FFG, I'm about to send you an invite right quick. While I'm doing that, man, let's get into the nitty gritty about what we came here, the main story that we came here to talk about. I'm talking while I'm sending him the invite, and it is off.
All right, I got to check something. Y'all got Subway out there, right?
Subway everywhere.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
Y'all get the same Subway cookies?
I don't eat them.
Yeah, it's franchise corporate shit. Same shit.
I'm just checking to see if like regular ass. These are damn good cookies. I don't know. Some of the best cookies.
Man, that's that Chiba I smoked out.
It's cookies.
Yeah, I know you got.
I got a brownie. He's rocking it.
Trips, you got something in that?
You got a brown.
No, see, this is there's 2 bananas, a grated apple, pecans, cocoa powder, maple syrup, brown sugar, vanilla, cinnamon, whole wheat flour, baking powder, baking soda, and a little salt.
Wee.
He got he got apples in that motherfucker. I like the little chunks in my damn brown.
No chunks. I grated them like with the peeler, the grater, like you grate a potato, so they were straight slivers. So they kind of melted into the fabric of the bread.
Bro, you would not believe the taste of a sweet pear in a brownie, how good that can be. Good. Like, oh fuck, this is. Anyway, man, but hey, welcome on. FFG just popped into the building up in this motherfucker.
FFG.
And, I'm about to get into the story I'm gonna just start the story off this way. And if Braggs is watching right now by any chance, I got on the phone with him, texting him. I was like, hey man, listen, I'm hearing stuff about Braggs. So basically what I heard was Carm reported out that he heard on, and I'm gonna quote this, he heard on good authority that Ryan Poles is the guy that hired Thomas Brown. He's the guy that brought Thomas Brown onto this organization. And if you guys don't follow the Bears pressers on a regular basis, then you don't know exactly where I'm going with this. So the other day, I think it was yesterday or the day before that, Matt Eberflus got in front of the podium and somebody gave Thomas Brown a hella compliment, and he smiled and said, he took credit for Thomas Brown being here. He said, I recruited him hard. I got him here. And it was a bald-faced lie. It was a bald-faced lie. Why do I think that? It's because I trust Carm and his reporting. Carm ain't gonna go live on no show and say no shit like that and not actually know exactly what he's talking about. When he said that I got it on good authority that this is what the deal is, that means there's leaks coming out of Hallis Hall that, hey man, no, this dude don't go. He done ran out there and made it seem like he's responsible for this young rising starter that's in the building being here. Nope, that was a Ryan Poles job. And so let's just start there. Some bullshit's going on. The Trips, Kedz, and FFG. You all know that the Bears are pretty tight-lipped when it comes to this kind of stuff. And ain't too many leaks that's coming out that building. That leaked out, that sounded intentional. Might be a Trace Armstrong special, whatever it is, but somebody wanted that to get out. And so just to, kind of knock down that story about Matt Eberflus is the one that brought him here. But we talked about this, Kedz, beforehand. I thought all the time that they brought Thomas Brown and at least what's his name, Eric Washington here to buffer the situation in case things didn't go right for Flus. And also reported out as well as Kevin Warren did not want to go with Flus going into this season. He wanted to go in another direction. But apparently it is exactly what I said, Kedz. Apparently they said, conditional to, okay, if you want to keep Flus, this is what we're going to have to do. We're going to bring in some qualified people in case this doesn't work, some people to back him up. So we have options. That's what's been reported out. Now, Carm didn't say all of that second part. He just spoke about he had it on good authority that Poles was the one that brought Thomas Brown into the fold. And so I just wanted to put that out there for the world to know. What's your take on that, Kedz?
So there's been a lot of talk about Matt Eberflus potentially being a little bit jealous and or cringy with some of the kudos that Thomas Brown has been receiving as of late. And this sounds like a story where the media kind of put him in a situation where he felt he should lie about it. Yeah, I'm the guy. I did it. It was me. He's good because I did it, right? So I'm going to take all the shine here, all the credit. And they'll stop asking me about Thomas Brown. And instead, he went to the source and tried to figure out whether, whether the lie is true, and the lie is the lie. And if that comes back to bite you in the butt, that's kind of how it goes. But he's in full damage control, cover my butt mode right now. So I would expect nothing less from Matt Eberflus, or any other coach who was in his shoes. Like nothing. Again, I'm sure he's an awesome guy. I think we totally get along. I think he's actually a cool guy. But we're getting towards the end of the situation. So that's really where I am with it. FFG, what do you think?
Like y'all stated, I think the Bears keep all the information asshole tight they whole existence. They don't want nobody to know nothing. That's why they didn't want to do Hard Knocks. Just be honest. They don't want nobody to know how things go in Hallis Hall because they are strictly football. And because they've made so many mistakes in the front office portion of the team, they do not want anything to be talked about, suspected of, or even have an intriguing story to tell or storyline to be able to put in the news every week because they trash us constantly anyway. We know, you all know Chicago media.
Yep.
So for Eberflus to try to take advantage of something he didn't do puts him in a bad light. And now I really think that Ryan Poles does have the option to get rid of his behind for the first time ever. And I think they're trying to go back to what worked last time we actually were competitive, when we had a coach that wasn't scared, that was aggressive, and that wanted to get after your behind. Like when I was in high school, that's the shirts we wore. Gotta get after their ass. That was the motto. And you don't see that here in Chicago. You see passive aggressive. We'll let you get away with this. We'll let you get away with that. And then when you get close, now we have to actually try to do something. And by then it's too late. And so they're bringing it to folks. And they chin every week. So for him to try to say like he was on a search and in the background, because you got to think about it. Thomas Brown was one of the guys they interviewed to take his job. But now you want to say, oh, I brought this guy in. This just makes you look so bad as a head coach that you really wanted the guy that was going to take your job, and you're praising him for not only promoting him over the guy that you picked, but now the team is playing better on that side of the ball, but the defense is not playing as well as it used to, which is your department, because you're a defensive head coach. It'd be different if they was like Pittsburgh, where they was shutting people down and winning games with 6 field goals. You know what I mean? And the offense hardly do shit all day. Am I wrong when I say this? It's not the case. We got to worry about people putting up 20 points every week because we worried about the offense getting off to these terrible starts. And if you really wanted Thomas Brown to be the offensive coordinator or the guy in charge, that's who you should have hired in the first place, and let Waldron be the passing coordinator or liaison or whatever you wanted to call him, the guru, where they could work together like they did, back in the day at the Rams. But I'm telling y'all, I see a big shift coming. And when it happens, he going to fall off a cliff. And when he hit bottom, he's going to hope to be able to get a defensive coordinator job again, because I don't think he's ever going to be head coach. What he's displayed with a team that's actually built for the last 3 years. Yeah, he started off with crap. It's gotten better. Got way more pieces, and now you got stable foundation pieces. And the GM also needs to take some responsibility for not having a way to protect your investments.
Well, that motherfucker got paid, so it don't really matter that much where he goes. He could take a year off and he can take a quality control position or something like that and work his way back to a D coordinator. But Trips, let's reel it back. About that story I just told you about. What do you think about that whole thing?
Well, I mean, it's all part of kind of the same tree. Part of, is that's one branch of the tree, so to speak, of the shit tree. But it's like looking at the general manager, Ryan Poles. All right. We see the reactions that Poles has when Flus does some of his flusosities during the game and fuck shit up. And Poles is pissed. And I can't believe that Ryan Poles, Ian Cunningham, and the rest of those guys are content watching Flus now with better talent that they've brought into this team, piss it all away, and just be cool with that. Now, I say that, but this is the same Ryan Poles who Travis Bell was his favorite human, had to cut him, but brought him back and still had to cut him again. But also the dude that had to cry when he had to cut Adrian Colbert, but now Adrian Colbert is back. So I don't know. He's emotional, but he eventually makes the right move, or he makes the uncomfortable move, let me say, that may interfere with his emotions. So he will do it. And I just don't see him keeping Flus. But if the stories were true that when he was hired, he was given a list of 3 names and Flus was on it and he just picked them, they've been cool ever since. All right, cool. But then looking at Flus and his mishandling of his defensive coordinator hire once before with Washington, and then now this whole setup that Waldron came in under, where he's coming from a different team where he was the offensive coordinator for years before. So he had experience. He's not a new jack, trying to make his name, but he took a situation that he had to keep the pre-existing offensive lineman, head coach, offensive line coach, Simo. And then if Thomas Brown wasn't a part of Waldron's plan, part of his staff, he was recruited from the outside to join Waldron's staff by Poles as a backup, so to speak. With like, hey, he pitched him like, hey, we saw ballers. We know how it goes on the inside. It's like, hey, Thomas, check it out, dog. Look, man, Flus been shitting down the bed. You're going to be the head coach. You're going to be the offensive coordinator, Caleb Williams, woo, woo, woo. And like, here he is, passing game coordinator. So now Waldron's gone after coming into a situation where he didn't hire 2 of the coaches on his staff. Obviously he's not going to look good. So I don't know what the fuck his deal was. So now we have Brown dealing with and talking all that good shit when it comes to offense and personalities and being a leader of men and working with a rookie quarterback and the quote unquote aura, as the kids say, that he has. And Flus is over there like, yuck, yeah, I brought him in. That's my dude, because he's so goddamn insecure because Brown is making him look bad, and Flus don't like that shit. He can't handle it. So, I could see an ass whooping going on tomorrow for this game, and then Black Friday will truly be Black Friday because Thomas Brown will elevate and ascend to the role of head coach, and then it's like President Warren, fight the power. Ryan Poles, Ian Cunningham, fight power, fight power. Go on Thomas Brown, fight the power. Coach Washington, you go ahead and take over the defensive coordinator position, fight power. And then we work with our quarterback, fight power. So we're gonna get this shit rolling, y'all. Have faith. I could see it coming. So because Flus there is nothing in his history of being a head coach that says, hey, this guy's the guy. It's like, no. His players are like talking shit about his defensive calls. Yeah, we would have called something different, but that's just me. I just work here. And that's for multiple position rooms. JJ said it, Byard said it, I think Edwards said it. And then this is the same defensive coordinator, de facto head coach, that's got Billings dropping in the coverage. He's got your best pass rusher who has a bad will, shin, ankle, some shit dropping in the pass coverage instead of trying to get after the quarterback. And it's like, dude, you're not even good at the defensive thing, as been stated before by FFG and everybody else. But so there is nothing that is tethering Matt Eberflus to this organization as head coach that is like, yeah, we need him going forward, other than the fact that he's under contract and has the whole agent Trace Armstrong McCaskey connection shit. Because that looks like the only thing that is prohibiting and holding this team back. Because when you look at these losses, and these are coaching issues, the talent's here, but not being prepared to play on offense and or defense. The pre-snap penalties, the lack of discipline, mentally and physically on both sides of the ball. That's all head coaching issues. The lack of development of players. And when Flus was brought here, his thing was he's a teacher, how to develop young guys. Who the fuck has he developed on this team that's been a young guy? Nobody. So, it's just, I'm just sick of it.
I got a question I got to ask you, man. I got to ask you a question. Because I don't know. I'm not saying that nobody else here reads some of these articles and some of these websites and some of these stories. I know if you keep up with sports mockery, then it's a good chance you know what the website Heavy is, right? Heavy.com.
I've heard of it.
All right. So how credible, anybody know how credible they think Heavy is? Heavy.com.
No idea.
Not very, but
No clue.
you gotta filter your information either way. So I would read it and take it with a grain of salt, and then cross-reference it with other things.
So okay, all right, that's it. I was having a hard time sussing that out myself.
King Book of World.
Just trying to figure out what up, King. Just trying to figure out because so there's a story going on, basically saying everything that I'm saying right now, but also. I don't know if you saw, I don't know if we did it on the show. Me and FFG did the other day on Nomad. It was a Nomad Live or the one we did. I don't know, maybe the one we did last night after Kedz' show. But whichever one, we brought up the subject of, I brought up the fact that I was watching Jalen Johnson on not only his 670 interview, he does an interview with them every week. And I seen him on another podcast later on in the day. And what he said was a veiled shot to me. I know how to read through some of those lines, and was a veiled shot at Flus. And so what he said was, what was the reason? What's the problem on the defense? He rambled off multiple things. And the last thing he mentioned is not being put. He tried to hide it. He said not being put in the right spot. So, Trip, what does that mean to you? Because I asked these guys already, what does that mean to you? When you hear a guy like that caliber making that kind of money, say we're not being put in the right spots to make plays.
Well, when whatever the situational football, if it's third and long, a position to the right position to them is probably man press coverage. Being up on the dude, being able to run with him and covering him. But the play call is back your ass up 18 yards and run that zone. That's not being put in a position because they can't stop that.
Say that one more time. Say that one more time.
Being put in a position to succeed is being able to restrict their movement from the start of the play at the line of scrimmage and man press type coverage, as opposed to giving a cushion of not only where the first down is, but beyond where the first down is, added to the cushion. What are you expecting those players to do? How are they supposed to stop anything in front of them like that? So, that's not being put in a position to succeed. If you know that the offensive line has a weak spot, you shift your guys around and you let them exploit those. You put them in a position to make a play. You don't hang them out to dry and then say, we got to execute. And it's like, well, you can't execute this bullshit because I'm way the fuck back here in BFE, bumfuck the fuck Egypt, and the play's going on in front of me. First down, move the sticks. All right, we're back in the situation again. All right, what we going to do, coach? Same shit, run that back. First down. And every time they do that, the emotions of these defensive players are lessening and lessening. and their faith and confidence in their coach is lessening and lessening. And then they're giving up first down. They're good in the red zone when they can tighten up, and he can't call any more deep zones. So, now they can let their athletic abilities do what they need to do, which is putting them in the right position. But he's only able to do that if the coach calls it, or, any of these defensive guys who are obviously frustrated at what's going on. They're not frustrated with each other. They're frustrated with their leadership.
Yo, that's Kedz. I'll just let you take it from there because we talked about it a couple times on a couple different shows. You just heard Trip echo it. You still feel the same. I mean, you can't be a playmaker if you're not in position to make plays. You just can't.
I touched on that. Well, I touched on that situation. If Flus is not going to be more aggressive in exactly the situations that Triple R laid out, man, I'm not going to rehash it because it was bang on what I said the other day, bro. Like we're line of sight here, right? If Eberflus is a big factor in this football game. Let's be completely frank here. Like, what I'm saying? Like, listen to what we're talking about. We're talking about a head coach who, when the going gets tough, he turtles. And when he turtles, bad things tend to happen. Like, I don't know what else to tell you. So if he can't figure out what to do in those situations, or like in the very least, if he can't just call a timeout and talk to his team about it, what should we do in this situation?
They're frustrated with him, man. But
of course they are, and this is sort of my point. Like, if you can't, like, we've seen on multiple occasions him on the field talking to players and players being like, "Bro, this is stupid. Why are we in this coverage?" You know what I mean? Like, why are we in this? Well, we have to be in this coverage. It's prevent. What are we preventing? We're 13 yards back behind. It's a 13-yard. It's 13-3. We're at the 13. What are we doing? You know what I mean? Like, we've seen this. If he doesn't get it, call a timeout, bro. Have a conversation with some folks, and like maybe you might think that there's a different way to tackle the situation. Take a minute, think about it. And out of it all, that was the one thing that I did see out of Matt Eberflus last week. I did see him like trying to like fumble his way through the usage of timeouts and challenges. You know what I mean? Like, I did see he tried. He attempted to do so, and I'll give the devil his due for what it's worth. Hopefully he can attend to using them in the correct manner this week.
Hold on, no, Kedz, because you brought up something. You touched a nerve, strike a nerve. Would you have gone for two in that situation? At the end of the game when you were down by 2 scores?
Why would I have done that?
Because the analytics say.
What kind of analytics say go for 2 there?
Right.
You're losing, dog. You have no business. You have no business, bro. Just kick the field goal and pray to God you might get the ball again. Holy smokes, you got the ball again? Holy smokes, bro, you got the ball again. You might be able to win this game and or tie it. And that's where I'm at. It was just stupid.
It's thick-headedness, man. And listen, man, let me tell you something. When you
man, Triple R, hold on. No, man, I was trying to give Eberflus like a modicum of respect. And Triple R just doused it with gasoline.
I'm sorry. There's like I can watch Jalen Johnson talk on those interviews, and I can see, like, I have never lived in a world where I was around, playing on a team with a bunch of millionaires, and like the one multimillionaire that you have in the room, the one that's making a whole lot of money. Like, it's probably a gang of guys in that room on that defensive side of the ball, especially in the secondary room, that want to say a whole lot of things. But guess who can and can get away with it? The motherfucker that's paid. Jalen Johnson, don't worry about it. I got this. I say what I need to say. I know how to say it without saying directly what I want to say. So people will get it that know. And so that's what that was, man. It's just like we ain't being put in position. That's the ultimate indictment. That's the ultimate indictment. We are playmakers out here. I've never actually seen a dude, a defensive coordinator with this many pieces, this many freaking athletic pieces, play this passive. It's absolutely astounding when I look at it on film. I've never said, like,
crazy.
what the fuck are you scared of, dude? You got the dogs. Let them off the leash.
And here's Nomad. What kind of personality, aggression do you think Eric Washington has?
All you got to do is look at one game, all 22 of Buffalo Bills in 2023, and you will know exactly what I mean. He got those motherfuckers led the league in pressures. They ain't lead the league in sacks, but they making that motherfucker get rid of that ball. And that's what you need.
Do you see any influence of that here? Any at all on this defense?
He has neutered Eric Washington, unfortunately.
Oh, you're using the word I used. Well, I like that.
Now, do you see what I'm talking about? You hired a defensive-minded head coach or a defensive
for months.
Defensive, coordinator who's built on the line getting to the quarterback, forcing him to throw the ball, forcing him to get out of the pocket where you can come and attack. Yet, this whole season, we've yet to see his influence at all on the field. It's just sit back and wait. We gonna give him 4 or 5 yards, and we gonna come up and tackle. Instead of saying they can't beat us down the field, and we're too tall at corner and safety for y'all to throw over the top. As most of the teams we've been playing ain't got no super jump ball. The only guy that we've actually played so far is actually a super athlete is Justin Jefferson. And that cat didn't get nothing from me last week. But yet you act like you scared of every receiver in the league, like they finna go out and bust out a 100-yard game. And this is where I have a real problem with this today, that you can't stymie progress. And I think that's what it is. He's stymieing progress. Now, you cried about not having players. You cried about not having the pieces. You cried about not having the dogs that you wanted, right, on the team. Now that you got them, what are you doing? They sitting around on the couch, chilling, waiting for some shit to happen, like, oh, the doorbell ring. Let me go find out who's here. They already in the house robbing you. You feel me?
Hey, you know what, FFG, before you go further, you know what the word omnipresent means?
Yeah.
So,
omnipresent. You there, but you don't see it. You know what I'm saying? It's lingering all the time.
Everywhere at the same time, pretty much, right?
Oh, no.
So omnipresent. He's so busy trying to be in everybody's shit. He's in the special teams room. He's in there with Caleb and the offense and doing all the quarterback shit and not focusing on what he's actually supposed to be good at and running the defense. He's supposed to be letting this guy basically set the defense up, talking about Eric Washington. But he's so busy trying to, he's an offensive coach. He's the head coach. He's supposed to have a presence in every room, but to be in all of those rooms and sitting in meetings and all of that kind of stuff, you taken away from what you need to be focused. What are you supposed to be good at on the defensive side of the ball? But you're busy over there meeting with Caleb and breaking down all 22 with Caleb. What the fuck are you doing, bro? You know what I mean? That shit, every time I see that shit, I've seen that episode where he was breaking down all 22 with Caleb probably 3 times. And it makes me want to puke every fucking time. Like, dude, you motherfucker. Like, damn, let these that I think is his problem. I think it's his problem. He's trying to be an omnipresent figure when you need to concentrate on other shit.
Well, he says he'll tell you, anybody who will listen, yeah, I want to be the CEO, but let's go corporate. He wants to be the CEO, but he down in the accounting department talking about, let's run this audit up in here like this. Then he over there in the financial department talking about, well, we're going to make these investments for our future capital gains shit. And now he's down in maintenance talking about, no, y'all cleaning the windows the wrong motherfucking way. I done told you this. Here's how we gonna do it. You know, he in the cafeteria talking about, look, I done told you about putting too much salt in these damn potatoes. We gonna do it like this. He's all over Alice Hall trying to do everything but his goddamn job. And it's like, bro,
the big man is worse.
None of this shit good.
The big man is worse. His job.
What they say about a jack of all trades. He ain't good at
master shit. None. And that's, but like in this case, he might be the master of defensive coordination, but that's not his job. His job is to be the head coach of the team. So he's mastered a job. That's cool. The problem now is he's straight up hijacked another man's job. So there's a man in the building. And this is what I've been saying. There's a guy walking around that building, wears shades. He's in good shape because I bet he hits that gym like crazy. He's got all kind of time on his hands. He's got time to hit the gym. And
there, right?
He looks swole, man. You know what I'm saying? He look good. He's in great shape. I would be too if I was paid out the frame and probably had the lightest amount of responsibilities I could, because the guy who I work for does my job for me. And like Eric, this ain't a knock, bro. Hit the gym, enjoy it. This ain't it. It's not a knock. The problem is I can't wait for that guy to give you the reins. And if I can irk somebody into making that happen, I'll do it. Because if there was one way to save it's so far gone. You know what I mean? It's so far gone. But if there was a way for him to save his job, it would have been to give Eric Washington the reins, let him do his thing, and pay attention. And now let's throw him under the bus some more, Matt Eberflus. So, a while back I stopped and I was like, if you're the CEO, like, why the hell aren't you paying attention to little things and details like snaps? You know what I mean? Like when we were talking last year this time. But this time around, it's a different thing that he should be paying attention to if he wasn't stealing another guy's job. He should be paying attention to what's happening in all three rooms. And right now, in one of these rooms, somebody's kicking footballs that are line-driven. For some reason, there's not enough, manpower on the line to protect that guy. There's issues there. These are things that a head coach should be aware of and should be working on and should make sure that going into a following game, this is not a point of contention and this has been worked out. That's your job as it differentiates between coming up with defensive schemes. Your job is to know that Eric is coming up with defensive schemes and scheming them, and that Thomas is coming up with offensive schemes and scheming them, and that little details as far as those things are concerned have been ironed out. And that's where you lose it. That's where he loses.
Hey, read that.
Hold on. Let me bring this up. I'm going to set this table up, and y'all finna take the fuck off when I bring this up, because this is a private conversation I had with FFG earlier in the day. And this is exactly what King Booker World has on the screen right here. His question is, my question is about the decision-making in this organization. How did Waldron get picked over Thomas Brown? We had this exact conversation today, King, and I'm going to tell you what happened. And so I just picture this. He was tapped to come in and get interviews and be in that process for the offensive coordinator. Flus orchestrated those interviews. I have no idea who sat in on those interviews, but I think there's nowhere in hell with this neurotic looking and the way he talks. I'm talking about Shane Waldron. Shane Waldron, I think, got a bad rap in the whole process. I think he did. I think K was playing bad at that time, and I think sometimes Shane Waldron was calling some bad stuff. All equally the same. However, I don't know how you sit in a room and interview a Shane Waldron and a Thomas Brown and land on Shane Waldron, unless I'm going right to Flus right now when I say this. Unless you saw the opportunity to Shane Waldron as a Shane Waldron hire, I can have absolute influence over this guy. I can push him over and get what I want out of this coordinator instead of I know I can't Buffalo Thomas Brown. And if it was left up to Flus, eventually at the end of the day, ultimately, I believe and this is I told you privately, me and FFG. Hopefully, he won't mind me saying what I'm saying right now. But I believe that was the determining factor, is that he saw a pushover in Shane Waldron and get what I want out of this guy. I can dictate to this guy versus Thomas Brown, who's more of a headstrong guy and wanted to do it his way. And so I can see how Shane Waldron got that job over Thomas Brown.
Well, that
as it sounds, but that's how it happened, I believe.
well, no, that plays into what Joseph Archer's saying. Who hired Matt Eberflus, Ryan Poles, or well, basically, Eberflus was hired before Ryan Poles.
Yeah, it was Ted.
Right, Ted Phillips. So, this is that front office McCaskey politics bullshit going on, because they hire, this punk ass Flus, and so he's gonna have people under his thumb that he can control that are not threats to his job. So he hires a Luke Getzey. You know what I'm saying? So he hires a Shane Waldron, who the players have to come out and be like, "Hey, coach, can you coach us, dog? What the fuck?" And it's like, how does the head coach do you not see that your offensive coordinator is not coaching his players? But he hired him. And, oh, yeah, my lieutenant, that's Simo. So we're going to keep him in the building, too. So it looks like Poles is like, all right, look, if this motherfucker want to play like that, he want to move this like this, we're going to get Thomas Brown. We're going to bring him in as a passing game coordinator, because I'm still the motherfucking GM and I can hire coaches. So we're going to have him ready and wait. And so now it's just that point in the cycle of shit that the McCaskies keep feeding this fan base. It's like, all right, now we all see that the coach, the head coach, is a dead man walking, last mile type shit. So it's like, well, what's going to happen? Because it's like, well, I just can't see Ryan Poles being like, Flus is my ride or die, dog. You know what I'm saying? We locked at the hip like that. I just don't see it. That seems as though it's like, look, I want to fire this motherfucker.
So here's the deal.
Won't let me.
Here's the deal, right? So they all work for the same, like they're all signed to the same agent. So when Ryan got signed, it was a situation where Trace Armstrong was like, "Hey, look, here's the guy that you're gonna work with. It's either, it's one of these three guys. They all come to me. I get paid either way." Oh, okay. Well, I'll take the doofy looking one. And he puts in Matt Eberflus, and that's the guy that he winds up getting. And that's kind of the end of the story. I don't know if there's relations there. You've alluded to that, but I kind of want to move to a specific direction here with all this, because we're getting late, and we haven't really addressed the huge elephant in the room. And the huge elephant in the room is this, right? So, Nomad, you kind of alluded to part of the conversation, which is, right, like, did they hire these guys as some sort of, as some sort of contingency plan for Matt Eberflus and his potential failure? And considering we're knee deep in that potential right now, we should really start talking about the realities of where we are. And the realities of where we are is question mark number one. Did they hire these guys as contingency plans? Because if they're contingency, that's great. But under normal pretenses, those contingency options don't turn into your next head coaches or offensive coordinators or anything to that effect. Those guys wind up the hell out of town. It's just how it usually happens, being honest. Why? Because the new head coach will come in here. He'll have his own staff. He doesn't necessarily want a hodgepodge. He doesn't know any of these guys. He's going to want to have guys that he knows and he wants to do business with, that he trusts. You want to build out your own squad. You don't want leftover squad, right? So here we are. We've got a guy who's actually performing very well in Thomas Brown. I would actually love to see what's up with Eric Washington, as I sort of alluded a little while ago. And where we are is we're in a situation where the silly organization is tied to some issue that happened like 74 years ago, where they fired a coach mid-season. It didn't work out. It was a bad deal 74 years ago. So because of that deal, we haven't decided to fire a coach in season in like 70 odd years. It's cool, guys. Like, everything is a superstition. You can just fire people. They do it all the time. I've been fired a bunch of times. People fire people. It happens. The issue right now is that we might not get the opportunity to evaluate what might be a very good coach in either one of these guys. Right now, I'm heavily leaning towards the guy that is working with the quarterback, right? That's the franchise right now. He's working closely with them, and it seems to be working. If that continues on, I don't know what you're doing if your evaluation from an evaluation perspective is over with the present head coach. You need to get a look at one of these two guys. Obviously, I'm talking about you, Thomas. You know what I mean? They need to look at you. They need to get an evaluation of you. And you need to get an opportunity as head coach right now for the Chicago Bears. And that's my 2 cents on the situation. And I hope he gets the opportunity. Because right now, all we're clinging to, and Nomad was there a minute ago, like, it's his last chance. This is Eberflus's last stand.
Well, see, now here's the thing. We get that, but like, dude, fuck that dude. Because
that's what I'm saying. That's why I'm being sarcastic. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, hold on, Trip. Here's what I see, for real, fellas. That it needs to be a demonstrative shift in how the Bears do business. Yeah. And the last time they were winning, they had a demonstrative head coach. And Lovie Smith, it was like, fuck the dumb. Here's how we gonna come out on the field every week. And we didn't play sloppy. We didn't play undisciplined. We played like our hair was on fire every week, and you had to beat us. We didn't beat ourselves. You had to beat us. And he had winning records for what, 8 years? Got to a Super Bowl and got fired at 10-6. You feel me? And they still let him go. And since then, we've got to the playoffs, what, 3 times?
Coaching's been sideways since then.
But
like,
we got to the playoffs 3 times. One was an 8-8 or 9-7 season, and we quickly got bounced, by Green Bay, because they didn't play defense. They let a dude get wide open on a 4th and 7, and he was wide open for the touchdown. Wasn't nobody within 20 yards. So this is not the kind of evaluation that Poles needs to have on his record, or he's in trouble. He needs to be like, look, I'm sorry, we haven't done this in a long, long time, but for the organization and for the fan base, we got to make a decision, and we got to make it now, like Kedz was alluding to, that we need to give somebody a chance. Because the worst part that can happen is you don't give either one of these 2 coordinators an option. Now, next year, Caleb is in a bad position with a whole new staff, a whole new offense to learn, and the players that already know what the system is going to be back to square one. And that's already happened 3 times. Right?
So you missed it. I was hoping you would.
4 years.
Hold on. I was hoping you would finish that off the right way. You missed it, right? So the other piece to this is if they don't give these guys, one of them again, the opportunity, what happens when they mature into a real prime time coach in the NFL? Like what happens then? You had the opportunity to do it. You never did it. You poo-pooed it. You went off with this guy, and he's doofy, and it's some sort of backroom deal again, and it doesn't work out. But you had these guys in the building, and you let them dance. You let them walk, and you never saw the talent. And now they're showing the talent. Like it just looks like a D'Amico Ryan situation to me all over. And there's opportunities there that people can take and jump on and give. Dan Campbell's an opportunity situation. They decided to jump on, and here they are. It's working. You have nothing to lose with the Eberflus situation.
Here we go.
Other than losing.
Here we go, kids, and I gotta this is how we tailor this conversation and make it very, very simple to fucking digest for anybody. It's very palatable what I'm about to tell you guys right now. What is everybody in the fan base looking for? Oh, we need somebody to come in here and develop Caleb. We should have got an offensive coordinator to begin with, right? Kedz is just kind of getting around. He's getting around to it in his conversation. But let me put a tailored point on this, man, because when you got something going with a quarterback and he's starting to gel and he's starting to really, really do what you thought he can do, right? And you're starting to see the ramifications of why you brought him in here. And this for some reason, this coordinator that you just elevated into that role is getting exactly what you wanted out of him. Isn't that the whole reason why you want to go outside the building and go and get a coach from the outside to bring him in and do just that?
Yeah.
You got that already inside the building. So that brings me to the point of the thumbnail in this show. Why not give the guy the opportunity? I've seen guys like him too many times not being given the opportunity, get it elsewhere and turn into this phenomenal fucking coach. Because he's got the chops about him, he's got the presence about him to galvanize people and get people to go along with him. Can you bring people with you? Clearly, he can do that. If he can go in that offensive room and start and turn on DJ, turn on Keenan Allen, turn on these guys that were giving lackluster performances and really not with it, and get Caleb to really adhere to the timer that's in his head and either make a throw or get out of there and make something happen with your feet. You've seen all of that shit happen. So why in the fuck would you want to go outside the building just because you hear about all these big names and they're doing all these big things? You got the dude you need right inside the building. It's about whether or not you have conviction.
Well, look,
this guy the opportunity coach.
Like I'm saying, like I don't know if they have the dude in the building or not. I don't know. I don't think anybody knows. But what I do know is not testing it out and finding out while you have the opportunity is foolishness. That's where I'm drawing the line. We're gonna meander through the next 7 games and go like, will Matt Eberflus keep his job? Who gives a shit? Like I'm being completely frank in this. Like, who cares? He will get a job elsewhere. That's cool. Or maybe they decide to keep him. And if they decide to keep him, we're sunk. About that simple. So, odds are he moves on. And I think it's about time. I think everybody's come to that realization. And if everybody has, why not see? Let's kick the bloody tires. Let's see if one of these guys has the chutzpah. And I'm pretty sure the guy that you just mentioned is who's gelling with the quarterback is exactly that guy. Because you want to keep those two guys together potentially if it's working. You don't want to break it up and test it out with another guy and find out that it doesn't work.
Caleb put up 350 yards last week, no turnovers. You know what I mean? And this is with the same offense that Waldron ran. So, he was able to get the production out of the same plays and connect with the young quarterback who needs connecting with and developing with. And if this season, the remainder of it, they can continue to build on that offensive progression, it would just be like some really dumb shit to say, all right, well, thanks for filling in, Mr. Brown. Down, we find somebody else. It's like, no, you keep that going.
Trip, if it ain't broke, what?
Yeah, don't fix that shit. Because it's already fixed. Because you fixed it. Thomas Brown, there you go. Now, I would, like I said before, I would prefer that he would focus on the offense as opposed to now he got to figure out how to be offensive coordinator and head coach. But if he can handle that, cool. That's
the evaluation that I want to see, right? So right now we have an idea that he's a good offensive coordinator. We have that understanding. He's good. He's getting the most out of Caleb Williams. Being the head coach, he's going to have to come down from the booth where he's at, do things on the sideline. It's going to be a little bit of a different audition that I'm talking about here. And the question is, can he do it? I'm interested to find out. I think he can. I think he's doing a fantastic job. And I'm also going to say that I wasn't like me and Nomad have had this particular level of conversation a few times on on these shows. And I wasn't all that up for this idea because I was under the impression these guys are just going to get flushed out anyways. But here he is, and he's really connecting with the quarterback. My thing for last week was the flea flicker. I looked at that play. I was like, they've been running this stupid wide receiver screen for weeks. It ain't worked for the last 6 weeks. Finally, Thomas Brown comes out, and it's working. I don't know what he did with the wide receiver screen to DJ Moore, but it's starting to work. It's been working. I look at the situation. I'm like, if he pops the flea flicker out of this, he's got my vote straight up, because that's just creative. That's actually doing this for a reason. Before we were just doing it and it wasn't working, so we're forcing it. This guy's doing it with purpose, and there it was at that point. You got me, Thomas. I'm on your side, bro. I hope they give you the opportunity, man.
Hey, I'm with you, kids. I'm 100% with you. I think what he has shown, you got to think about it. This kid had progress in the first 4 or 5 games against bad teams, and everybody's like, oh, he's ascending, to great heights and all this hoopla, right? Then we got into medium style teams, and he started looking like this, right? Now, against great teams, this kid is holding his own because Thomas Brown came in, and we got a chance to win all these games against terrible teams, i.e. New England. We was getting tossed the hell up. Couldn't move the ball, couldn't get a first down. It was horrible to watch that game when I saw on replay because I couldn't get it live. But I was like, you got to be shitting me. You really couldn't scheme up a first down for 2.5 quarters? You couldn't scheme up a first down. Fuck some points. You couldn't scheme a first down. So what that tells me about Thomas Brown is he took charge of the same shit we was doing, like Kedz said. Same shit we was doing, put small wrinkles in. Instead of having wide receivers block, you got a big left tackle out there, road blocking cats where DJ can get the screen, and that's 15, 20 yards touchdown. You know what I mean? So
but peep game though. Put that last comment, Black Diamond. He was referring to King Booker World's comment.
Read it on.
But basically it says they don't want a strong personality as head coach. And I agree with that. But if you look at Brown's personality, he's a very strong personality, but he's soft-spoken. He's not gregarious. He's not out there cursing and yelling and cussing, but he gets his point across. He told a story in one of the press conferences about how, his 3 children are different personalities. And he looks
I think might actually like his personality, Triple R. Now that you're sort of saying it, I listened to that same thing. I think from a McCaskey top down situation, right. I think they might appreciate his
because demeanor. He's soft. He's got that lovey, hey, how you doing vibe.
Kind of. That's the only one you could compare it to. He kind of has that lovey in him a little bit.
He's a leader of men.
Yeah.
And Ryan's written all over him, man.
That's really the guy that I would compare him the most to. And I did a little bit earlier on, but I can see what you mean. Just that whole exchange was a different exchange. The first few exchanges were more, I'm a leader of men, I'm a leader of men. This exchange was, hey, thanks for the compliment. I appreciate it. I've kind of learned how to handle different personalities because I'm a father and I have children. And that's, this is him going through the different personalities of his kids and just having a real normal down to earth conversation with people.
He's relatable. He's empathetic.
He is. Both
none of which Flus is.
And he's sincere about what the hell he says compared to trying to sidestep every conversation and give it a different spin where he's not the focal point. You know what I mean?
I've been waiting
to take responsibility for what the team does and what he does to initiate all the quality product that they see on the field or lack thereof.
FFG, you can feel that motherfucker at a press conference. I know.
Flus?
No, I'm talking about Tom Brown.
Tom Brown. Okay, yeah, okay.
Comes to a press conference, you can feel him in the press conference. Yeah, I know what that's just a buttered up version of. Hey, I need to go out here and be politically correct and get out the situation. Out, get it done, get on up out the way. When he's in that room in front of people, in front of players, trust me when I tell you that they feel that motherfucker. Trust me, because he's the kind of person that's direct and gonna tell you straight out what it is. Come on now, this ain't it, man. This we can't do this. This ain't gonna work, DJ. This ain't gonna work, Keenan. We gotta do something else, man. You know. I'm looking at y'all's film. I know what you're capable of, and this ain't it, man. Come on, I need better than this. I got to have better than this. You can tell, you can feel that motherfucker in the room, and that's exactly what they need. And I don't think all this nonsense about variable and that we need to get this person or that person. No, you don't. No, you don't. You just need to get a right motherfucker with the right kind of personality that galvanizes the team the opportunity to coach. That's it. And let everything else take care of itself.
You know
then
what?
you develop a culture.
Hey, Nomad, you know another thing that I think he will do that is probably unheard of, but I think he likes a lot the coaching pieces on this team already. He's already worked with a crap ton of them. You know, and I think he likes Washington style, and he's waiting for Eberflus to get the hell out the way. You know what I mean?
So
and I think that he's going to be like, hey, Simo, you're great if you want to be a coach.
You know what?
Hey, listen, just hear me out. If you want to be an offensive assistant or you want to be a consultant to help the offensive line because you know the players, great. But I'm going to bring in a guy that I know will get them to where they need to be today because I'm tired of these broke up, always hurt, technique-wise or whatever, slacking and lacking on the outside, on the inside, and we constantly playing musical chairs because we're dealing with substandard player production. So now let me take the reins, put the people, and a couple people I want to put in position because he may not like the tight ends coach who was kept as well. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to put my people in position, and you know what? I love you, big dog, but you 40, going to be 41, you know, it's best to go retire or be offensive assistant somewhere else. I need to get a young or version of you to go in and knock the hell out of some people so my two pass catching tight ends can be somebody and be effective in this offense where my quarterback actually has targets on a consistent basis. So when we do want to run, I need you to be a rogue raider. And he just can't play as much. So you're wasting a roster spot for that. So I think he's going to clean up a lot of the positions that we talked about. People just sitting on the team, like your boy Tyler Scott, like Dominique Robinson, just chilling, don't play, but getting paid, and don't positively affect the team at all because they're just basically space holders. It's kind of
AFFG. Fun fact: Mercedes Lewis has more penalties than he has receptions this season.
Damn,
but you see what I'm saying though? That's discipline. I guarantee you, Thomas Brown gonna be like, that ain't good enough. I don't care if you a 21-year veteran. You can't make these mistakes because if a guy that I just drafted, I won't tolerate the mistakes from like that, mental mistakes, then how the hell are you going to show him how to be a professional and you making mistakes all the time?
Let me play a little devil's advocate right quick. And I'll just wrap this conversation up like this. Now, I will defend Mercedes Lewis. I understand why the premise of bringing Mercedes Lewis back. He's the best blocking inline tight end in NFL. And this quarterback need, they really just trying to buffer the situation for a rookie quarterback, knowing what he's been asked to do and trying to get him as much protection as they can get him. Hence the Mercedes Lewis, they convinced him to come back and play another season with him. So I get why they brought him in. I get the argument too of, really, could we use that spot for some other player? At this point, you looking at we past the halfway point in the season. Yeah, easy to come to that conclusion, but I can damn sure understand the premise of bringing Mercedes Lewis in and making sure this guy's got some extra protection so that he can develop. I think that's what it was all about. That key word was development bring in a inline tight end, the best you can find, get him some extra protection, and go tight end heavy when you go to the 53. They went tight end heavy when they cut down to 53. That's not a bad move in my opinion. I ain't trying to step on what you said, FFG. I'm just trying to play devil's advocate about his role in particular. Mistakes be damned, you know. I mean, he's made some mistakes, but I can understand why they wouldn't made that move.
Well, then why is he not teaching the younger players? See, that's if you're going to bring him in for his expertise, his experience. So that should be more of his legacy that's being put to the team, because he's not an every down player. He plays 7, 8, 10 plays a game, maybe on offense. So the guys that are actually playing, this is where he needs to be effective.
Well, hold on. Let's talk about somebody who actually plays though. Everett, he be out there, don't look like he don't know what the fuck he be doing half the time. And it's like sometimes he catch the ball, sometimes he don't. And then it's like he did. Sometimes he blocks, sometimes he don't. You know what I mean?
You know what's funny about him, Trips, is I believe 100% if there was a guy that you can pick out that Shane Waldron had his hand on that signing, I think it was Shane Waldron. That was Shane Waldron's piece to come bring in a guy to help you install your system and do it the right way. You know what I mean? That's the guy he brought from the situation he was in. So, you know, what he turned out to be
in the Rams too.
Right. So what he turned out to be was irrelevant in the system. You know, now Thomas Brown is just trying to work with him. What's scary about him is nobody thinks he's going to do anything, but all of a sudden,
you're a quality tight end, though.
All of a sudden, if Shane Waldron decides to really put him in play, fucking Gerald Everett can get it in now. I mean, don't act like he's some kind of scrub. He ain't. You know what I'm saying? He ain't no fucking scrub. I mean,
we ain't seen shit about shit yet. So as far as I'm concerned, no.
But again, look at what Waldron tried to do. He tried to bring in people that can help him utilize the system that he already is running, or that they know pretty well from the Rams and from the Seahawks, right? It's a mixture where they already know the concepts of what they're trying to do. But how much of that was actually taught to the younger players? How much of that was actually given to Cole Kmet? Because remember, we thought he was missing in action like in Vietnam for the first 5 or 6 weeks of the season. Wasn't catching shit except that 1-2 touchdown game, right? So if you look at the Bears, they consistently have this week, you had a great game. Next week, we don't hear from you. We don't even know you on the team. You were just out there. So to me, utilization is the key for all the weapons you have. And you would have thought over the offseason, training camp, preseason, and in the early part of the season, that you were able to work all these pieces in based on the system that you've been teaching, which they already knew a lot of the options off of those things.
Check this out. Here's what I've noticed looking at the all 22 again. This always tells, that's the Bible. Fuck all these analytics. That's the Bible. One thing, and now you guys will rock with me once I say it. One thing you'll notice since Thomas Brown, this is going to be what? Third week into the rope. All right, first week, you know who the system was designed around and who really got off in the first week? Romo Dunze. Nope. Romo Dunze was the guy that you could tell that he was targeted the most in that. You could throw Cole in there. He got a couple, good looks in there, but it was Romo Dunze. When you look at the all 22, you could tell that they were really trying to get him popping. Second week, it was fucking Keenan Allen. Really trying to get him popping. And I will say that second week is probably a dual DJ and Keenan. This third week, who knows what this game plan is going to be?
Well, let me tell you who knows. Thomas Brown better motherfucking know, because I say it like this. If DeAndre Carter, who is let that man focus on catching the goddamn punts and let the wide receivers wide receive. And that means Tyler Scott. See what we have in this kid going forward. Get this man some reps on the field. Jesus
Colin
Christ.
Johnson.
That's the last story we was getting ready to talk about. Go ahead.
Well, hold it up, but let me go ahead and let's say this. You know, if DeAndre Carter was Waldron's guy, I saw someplace, I heard someplace that he's also the wide receiver coach's guy, and that whoever the wide receiver is, who's the wide receivers coach?
I forgot his name, but he coached DJ at Maryland and he coached
Carter. So
okay, but he also coached Keenan at San Diego the last several years. So
okay,
he's familiar with both his starting, you know. And
all right,
now
well, I get that, and I get that, but the problem is we can't keep giving the reps to guys that aren't part of the future, namely Carter. And, you know, Allen is just now getting rolling, getting healthy, getting on the same page. But we ain't signing that dude to another contract. So we got to get Colin Johnson some reps. We got to get Tyler Scott some reps. And I would think going, you know, and if Brown was going forward, going to be the offensive coordinator / head coach or whatever, but running the offense, you know, I could see him looking forward to like, all right, what do we got in the building? What kind of talent do they have and what can we utilize in this offense? And I would want to see more Scott, more Johnson, more youth, as opposed to, well, let's work Keenan in a little bit more so we can get him, you know, another 15, 20 catches. It's like, what? Why? You know, that benefits no one going forward. So, you know, I want to see DJ, he's a beast. Rome, young guy, beast. Work these guys. Komet, get him the ball. You know, he'll drop one, but he'll catch the next 10. You know, he's a beast. You know, get Tyler Scott some reps in there. You know, he got to be able to catch the ball, you know, live action. You know, get Colin Johnson. So get the youth rolling and start developing an identity for the offense for the rest of this season. So going forward, you know, if Poles is still here, it's like, all right, let me get these offensive linemen, you know, woo. And then now we can have an offense that's being built as opposed to, all right, well, we're going to piecemeal the rest of this goddamn season and then start all over again next season.
So, Kedz, I'm going to just pass it right to you because Tyler Scott is on a milk carton. And then if anybody has any idea of where he might be, you got any new leads, any new information.
He be hanging out with Adam Rank.
That's exactly what I was gonna say, man. Part of the APP is keep a lookout for a white man. He's bald. Sometimes he wears glasses and has a goatee under normal pretenses. Might be on the NFL Network. Might be on the NFL Network. Look, I don't know whether we're gonna see any of that. And I was just kind of looking at target share over the last couple of weeks here, which I will share. Bear with.
You talking about Tyler?
No, I'm just talking Bears.
What are you talking
I'm just talking Bears in general, right? So the last few games where things have been working, from a target share perspective, Keenan Allen, 6, 8, 15 last 3 games. Pretty decent target share. 15 is very high. Whoa, I just lost my whole thing. That sucks.
What you trying to get at, though?
I was just showing you guys what the difference was between the three wide receivers, because you were sort of saying that Rome was being targeted the most, and I was like, I don't know if that's true. It's not. Keenan Allen was actually being targeted the most. The second guy would be Rome, and that's 10 targets apiece these last 2 weeks, 6 in the previous week. Pretty high targets for Rome Odunze. So you're probably right by way of him being that guy a couple of weeks ago. Then I looked at Cole Komet. Cole Komet was definitely part of the game plan this week. He had 10 targets this week, whereas he's normally in and around 3 or 4 targets. And then you get DJ. And DJ's targets are really low. I find that a little bit odd. Let's go put that out there.
Making the most money on the team.
Well, remember, targets, not catches.
No. Okay, targets, you can't get a catch if you ain't getting targeted. You only get
That's
four
what-
targets.
That's I'm just trying to make sure you understand where the blame needs to, or that you're sort of placing the blame in the right place, because if you can't if they don't throw it to you, you can't catch it no matter how much money you're making. So you know what I'm saying?
Hold
They
on
might
now.
be throwing the ball in the
Hold
wrong
on,
guy.
hold on.
Here's the
Let me defend Thomas Brown a little bit now. He just got the job and he's trying to get his sea legs. He got a week. Talking about the first time he had to call plays. He got a week to scheme up, whatever he had to scheme up. He didn't have the whole entire offseason to prepare and how to get the ball to DJ, how to best get the ball to Ron Cole. He just got there. So give him time to try to figure out how best to get these guys rolling. You know what I mean?
Oh,
So
I hear what you're saying, and I really didn't mean it like that as some sort of shot to Thomas Brown. I didn't mean it like that at all. I'm just looking at what the target shares. It actually says much more about. It says a lot about two things. Like, again, I'll put Komet up here too. It says that game plan wise, this week the game plan was 1,000,000,000% use Cole Komet, and you can see that. Like, he's got 11 targets in one game, 10 targets in the game this week. Other than that, pretty pedestrian targets. You know what I mean? Pretty pedestrian numbers, relatively low. He wasn't part of the game plan. This week, Rome Odunze, part of the game plan with 10 targets. This week, Keenan Allen in the slot, big part of the game plan. But he's been getting pretty high targets this whole season for the most part. Rome, to be honest with you, pretty decent targets this whole season as well. Kind of interesting. But DJ's a little bit on the low side of things. Just kind of
what
saying.
we were talking about was Tyler Scott and trying to see.
Pull him
Like,
up, Kedz, just to see.
Like it's
If
just
he's on
at this
You
point,
know, there's a reason why he's not up there, guys. And like the reason I
'Cause he's
didn't put him
dead now.
up, he's literally had.
Why have DeAndre Carter active when you can see what you got in Tyler Scott and come to a conclusion on whether or not you think it's a guy that you can develop? I'll forget all of these targets for Keenan, Rome. All that shit don't make no difference. The guy that he needs to replace is DeAndre Carter. If you want to see what you got in Tyler Scott as an offensive coordinator, which he ain't got the authority to call his shot, his own flus. Somebody has to make the call and say, give Tyler Scott the opportunity.
But
Why
where?
wouldn't you under these circumstances? What good are you? What is the point of using DeAndre Carter? Why even have him active at this point? Give this guy a chance to either make this team or break. One of the two.
Can't. He's buried. He can't, right? Like, so are we going to put him as the prime return guy?
Well, no, just put him at wide receiver 4 as opposed to Carter. Because if any one of the Dunze, Allen, or DJ goes down, the next wide receiver come in is always Carter. Just bump Scott and Johnson up there.
To be frank with you, I'm in full agreement with that, to be frank. To be honest with you.
Carter's numbers too. How many receptions does Carter's get? How many targets does he get?
Well, so just to talk about the numbers, 0 targets for a Tyler Scott, quite literally 20 snaps on the season.
You know how
crazy
demoralizing that's got to be for Ryan Poles, who drafted this guy, and this motherfucker's got him buried. The motherfucker can't fuck up if he's not in there. He can't make plays if he's not in there. You know what I mean?
All right.
Give him opportunity. Period.
Here's the last guy to talk about. Quite frankly, again, at least the man has targets. 6, 4, 2 in the first 3 weeks of football this season. Another 2 in the pitiful Washington and New Jersey or New England game.
What the fuck point is it to even have him there? He's not gonna be here next year. You know who might be here next year? Tyler Scott.
Well, pull up Everett. How many targets has Everett got?
Well, the biggest question mark here is why you're not utilizing all of your team. A
lot more than I expected.
Right. Here's the thing. Why do you not have any of these guys being a part of the offense when they're even out there on a play?
Because he probably boned Flus's daughter or something. Yeah,
No.
Which one?
Okay, time out a second. Since you brought her up, I'm serious. I've actually been thinking about her.
Screen, man.
No, I'm serious. I've been thinking about her for a minute. I kind of wanted to have a little bit of a conversation.
Off the screen,
I
know what you think.
Your wife might watch this. You better not say nothing.
Look, I'm gonna be respectful. I'm not saying anything rude or anything like that. But I found during Hard Knocks, I found her to be very football savvy, and I say that about her, but both of the girls. Huh?
Talking about Flus's kid?
Yeah, they actually know football. They've
Which
been
one?
around.
The kid or the girl and the one in high school? I think one's in high school, right?
I'm talking about both of the daughters. Both of them. There's one, the older one really knows football. The younger one knows football a little bit.
Trips, don't you do it. I see your ass down. I see I can read digital across your
pictures and none of
He's
that.
just waiting for me to go trip on this little detour. I'm not going trip on this detour. I'm staying Kedz. This is like this is something I've been thinking about. I
Don't have the FBI investigating y'all.
I just wonder, because if I was Matt Eberflus and I was performing at my job on a national stage in front of my child, I've basically taught football her entire life, and I come home late on a Sunday night after losing every bloody week, doing the silliest, in the silliest, most crazy fashions. Like, you asked me today, like, would you have gone for 2 there, Kedz? How can she not ask that over dinner? You know what I mean? You go. So, Dad, like, why did you go for 2? Like, you went for 2, Dad. Like, the relationship at home's gotta be crumbling, bro. I'm just saying, it's gotta be a tough spot having dinner at the Flus house right now.
You said
his wife probably like, we gotta move out of this nice house.
Yo, his wife is like, no, honey, and you like, I ain't talking about them bees outside. You know what I'm saying? Like, forget them bees.
I gotta jump in here because if I let Trips take off on this one, that motherfucker gonna get us goddamn demonetized. I see that. I can see how his ass thinking right now. So I'm gonna get in the middle of this one.
I'm just saying. His daughter knows football. Is all I'm saying. She actually does, and it was kind of impressive to see how well he trained her. And considering that, at some point she got to ask, like, Daddy, you didn't see? Why didn't you call? Why didn't you throw the flag here? Like, Daddy, what the hell were you thinking? Oh, pass the salt. You know what I mean? I need some more gravy.
And then Flus gonna say, "Well, I don't know, dear. I got to check the tape." You know, and then because I got to check the tape, and then I got to get better. I got to get better.
Yeah, I got to get better. It's all about execution, baby.
Man, that shit done rung so goddamn dry lately, man. But hey, man, it's a good show. You got Thanksgiving tomorrow. This turnaround tomorrow for the this morning game. It was afternoon game, whatever the fuck you want to call it. It's gonna happen quick. I haven't done the thumbnail. I haven't prepared the show. So all you guys that got your notifications rung and you got your bell on, I apologize. So probably about an hour, maybe less than when we get off this show, I'll have the show put up, and so you'll hear a late notification of the new show coming out in the morning for the live watch tomorrow in the post game. So that's coming out later. And plus, I gotta get this back up here. Excuse me. Anybody, and I talked to you already, Petty. We're gonna try to get you on the show Sunday. Naj, and any of you other Super No Maniacs. Anybody, if you guys want to have something to say on the show, I know we say a whole lot of spirited shit, and it's very inviting, and you want to have some say so. If you're not shy and you don't mind coming on and doing a lot, man, we're gonna welcome you with open arms, man. Trust me when I tell you, it's gonna be just fine. All you gotta do is hit us up in the email. Let us know. You see the email right up here on the screen, and we'll try to figure out a way to get you on the show. First, we'll meet with you in StreamYard, just get a feel for what you can bring to the show, and then we'll put you on. And so that's just how that process works. So I encourage everybody, especially the Super No Maniacs, for this show in particular, man, we would really love to see you guys come from behind the scenes and let us know how you feel live and on the show, man. We really designed this whole program right here for you all to have all access to what we do. And I think you guys will enjoy it once you get and start being a part of it and have a real interaction with what we do right here. I think you'll enjoy it even more. just knowing the fact that you can jump on here and get on some extra sauce with us and just have your say so, man, and let it be heard. So I just encourage you all. Please hit us up at the email, man. I'm telling you, you are going to enjoy it and you're going to have a good time if you come here. Just want to put that out there.
Right. I'm speaking of good times as we wrap up. Hey, Kedz, pull up that link in the private chat there and put it on screen so we can share it with the Supernomaniacs and the rest of the world. Big up. Some of the fun that happens over at Sports Chicago Style. And look, no, not that one now. Watch out now. Watch out. But look at the thumbnails that for this season, make it as big as you can, and like just pick out what's your favorite thumbnail, and look at the theme as the game. Just scroll over them and see what they're looking like. You don't have to actually play the video, but this is the a little creativity, a little fun going on post and pregame and throughout the week with some other content. So come on over to the channel, the website, the Ko-fi, the Patreon, the Blue Sky, the Twitter, the Facebook, the YouTube, the .com, and the email, Sports Chicago Style. And so you see you got that. Can you make that a little bit bigger, kids? That's what she said.
All right. Hey, you know what, Trips? I was gonna go in order, but we'll get back to you, man. We'll get back to you for a close. But we'll start with Kedz, man. Kedz, you got anything to when you pull that down? We'll go ahead. You just scrolling through Trips' channel right there, right? Kedz, we can't hear you.
You muted.
Damn it. Yeah, I was just showing the world, showing the world what Triple R's got to display. Just give a little bit of love to everybody out there. Thanks for joining us as per normal, chopping it up with us. Join me on a Tuesday, please. On a Tuesday, as the homie McConan would say. Superflex show, fantasy football at your finest. Me, Kedz the Canuck. You're going to have your guy, King of Pop above me. He'll be chopping it up with us. And we're trying to put a little bit of money in your pocket. We've been dropping gems for weeks on end. Got to toot my own horn in this capacity. Lots of awesome stuff happening by way of fantasy football. So join us for the Superflex show every Tuesday, 6 Central, 7 Eastern, and we'll help you. We'll help you win your league, or at the very least, make it to the playoffs. Because I'm pretty sure I'm in the playoffs in all of my leagues thus far. Shout out to all of my compatriots and the Supernomaniacs out there. Let's hit that right now. Supernomaniacs and the No Maniacs, big ups to all of you. Mad love to my guy Charles Johnson, the minister. Big shout outs to you as per normal, man. Good to have you. Good to have King Booker World out there. Sorry for whooping your butt the other day, but hey, it is what it is. Fantasy football, Hey,
You got tossed up.
Joseph Archer, what it do? Black Diamond, Petty Murphy, my guy. FFG's right here in the building with us. Always good to have FFG. You know what, man? It's been an awesome day. We had the Nodge out there hanging out. Mo Fugra jumped in for a little bit. Chi Town Menace. Shy, you should become a Supernomaniac, brother. Costs the same amount as them super chats. $4.99. Get it done. You chop it up with us for free all week next week and moving forward for the rest of the month of December. So we'll see you real soon, hopefully there, Chi-Town Maniac. That's my guy. Mad shout outs to you, and thanks for representing with us, and thanks for the super chats, bro. The support is very, very, very appreciated. That being said, smash that like, share, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend, and what it do, my God, Triple R? What are you saying, bro?
Oh yeah, was just preemptively self-promoting there with the Sports Chicago stuff. Not that now. it can be a party because you got a little role. It's like, hey, pick a role. What role I want to meet. What role I want to get intimate with tonight. Because you got auntie there.
Somebody need to come get their auntie, man.
And then you got the vets going on. Don't sleep on the vets. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause, you know what I'm saying? They skilled in their endeavors.
They're seasoned. Huh?
Yeah, there you go.
Experience.
Plenty of seasoning
They
on
got
it.
that slap back.
Mm-hmm. But
Experienced.
but Yeah, but looking at those thumbnails, I try to tell a story of what's happening with the game and what's going on. So the creativity's there, and they're very basic. They're very to the point, and it's all about the support, the sports, and the drama behind it, not just what's going on in the field, but what's going on in the front office. And now, as we are in that point of the year where it's like, draft top 10 picking again, Ryan Poles, if you're still here. And it's like, fuck. But yeah, whatever. So happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Thanks for the support. If you have already subscribed, if not, go on, hook that up, holla at your boy. And then I'll see y'all on the interwebs when I see you.
All right, FFG, what say you, bro?
Oh, I'm saying I'm loving it, man. This is the most comprehensive show that I've seen and been part of, even from a fan standpoint, because I consider myself a super no maniac. So be able to give my views and my opinion and to be able to contribute just enough to make the show roll on is awesome. And I'm thankful for all of y'all to be able to give me this opportunity just to be able to voice my opinion. And I hope everybody eat good tomorrow. I hope everybody get fat, and I hope they try to work it off on the weekend. You know what I'm saying? After then had them extra ham sandwiches and all that good stuff and some turkey and some leftovers. You know what I'm saying? But I really think that we've hit some strong points as far as the ways we should move in the future. And we've actually got a pulse on the team that a lot of people don't see or don't even rationalize at this point. So, and with all the super no maniacs that I represent, just for me personally, because I feel exactly how they feel up in the chat every week, that there's change needs to come. And this is one of the shows that actually can provide an opportunity for change just by the views and the information that we provide here about how the fan base feels and how everybody's not just a rookie on this show. They've been a fan for years and knowing exactly where the Bears have gone, where they've come from, and from greatness to crap, to greatness to crap, to greatness to crap. We want to see greatness again. You know what I mean? So for me, this is like my best hobby right now. You know what I'm saying? To be able to chop it up with y'all. And thank you for allowing me to have this opportunity. Nomad, I hope everything goes the way you plan it out to go. Because I really see this as taking off, especially coming up the end of this year into next year. You guys have laid a spectacular platform, Kedz, Trips. Y'all endeavors cease to amaze me not ever. It's amazing. The information, the characters, the ability to put out quality information on a consistent basis that actually has the average fan foaming at the mouth to be a part of it. And that's what I want to tell you guys I'm thankful for. Because what y'all do in y'all spare time is actually amazing. So don't let nobody ever tell you what you do is not important. And for guys like me, just happy to be here, got a regular job, and have some time every now and then to hang out and kick it is awesome. So do what you do, keep it rolling, and let's go Bears, goddammit, because I want to see a victory tomorrow on Turkey Day.
All right, man. Hey, you know what? You said a mouthful there, man. And I'm an empath, man. So when people speak from the heart, I feel it in the heart, man. It hits right there where it needs to. I appreciate it, man, because, and I speak for all of us. I know I do, because we work to get this stuff out here, man. And I like to call ourselves the podcast that brings the fan base to life. And that's the idea, man, was always the idea, is to bring the fan base to life. So I see that Minister Charles said he's going to shrug off all the all the BS and say, you know what, I'm coming on. Come on, Mr. Charles. I can promise you a good time. I can promise you a good time, Mr. Charles. Just come on here. Ain't gonna be no judgment. Don't nobody care about nothing. Just come on here and have a good time and do the show. And I guarantee you, with us, man, we got you, dude. Don't even worry about it. You're gonna have a good time doing the show. And trust me, just like everybody else, once they bite a little piece of it, they're gonna want a bigger piece of it. They want more every time. So just warn you ahead of time. You're gonna come on here, you're gonna have a good time with us, and you're gonna want to do some more. And we're gonna welcome you to do that, man. So appreciate you, Minister Charles. Hit us up in that email. You know, you see the email up there. Just hit us up, man. We'll get it done. But also, kids, before we get out of here, Marlon had a particular question for you. Want to read?
Yeah, you were. I thought you were shutting the show down, bro. You know what I mean? So I hit Marlon up in the chat. Marlon, look, I just had to double check and look at those matchups. We've got Miami versus Green Bay. That's going to be a nice matchup. I think that Tua Tagovailoa will put up decent numbers against the Green Bay defense. That's my thoughts there. I think you're going to see a little bit of a resurgence of Miami right now, especially against Green Bay this week. That's my 2 cents there. Flip side is, if you're talking about Joe Burrow, huh?
They play in Green Bay. It's in the cold.
That's fine. Maybe that's the difference. Maybe it's freezing cold this weekend and it makes a difference. Personally, if I'm choosing really though, I'm choosing Joe Burrow. Like I draft Joe Burrow. You know what I mean? I skipped over Tua. I've drafted Joe Burrow 3 out of 4 leagues. I would definitely suggest Joe Burrow for the remainder of your league to anybody. Joey B and Jamar Chase together is basically 20 points a week.
Kedz, the high tomorrow around here, because I live further north than y'all, 14 degrees. They don't play well in the cold, and I'm sorry to tell you. Okay. I think Joe Burrow all day. No offense. Okay. They just don't play well in the cold.
Fair enough.
The flip side with Burrow is it's Pittsburgh, right? So it's a divisional matchup, which makes things a little bit dicey, right? So that's why I'm leaning towards Tua this week. That's the other reason why.
Well, I'm not gonna say nothing. He asked you, kids, and you gave him the answer you wanted to give him. So I'm gonna leave it there.
You have it.
I'll leave it there. Listen,
the minister's coming in here gangbusters somehow next week. I'm a little worried.
All right, man, listen. Mr. Charles, man, if I don't see you in the email this week, man, I'm gonna have a problem with you, man.
Oh, man.
Come on now. Stand by your word now, Mr. Charles. Stand by your word. All right, listen. Man, real fun show, man. Real informative. The stuff that we hit on today, I think, is I take pride in the fact that some of the stuff that we say, and I still haven't gotten to some of the shorts from the old shows that we did some months and months ago, talking about the stuff we're talking about now. Because a lot of dudes out here in this podcast business like to beat their chest about how right they are, how accurate, and how much they know better than the next person. No, we actually say this shit when it comes to life in real time. And so it's out there. And I'll get time to do that probably right after the holidays, man. But as far as the holidays go, man, enjoy yourself, man. Like usually for me, I like, during the holidays, I like to go, and I don't know if I'm going to have time to do it. I'm pretty sure that I ain't going to have time to do it with all the stuff we got to do and stuff that I got to do around here after that. But I like to go out, and personally, I like to make sure that other people are taking care of the homeless. People that don't have a place, don't have family to lean into and onto in these moments. Those are people I feel for during these times. It's all these people who don't have particular people that really care about them in the way that they should be cared about. So I like to go out and feed people, make sure they're taken care of. If I go to the liquor store, I'm going to bless everybody around that liquor store sitting around there. That day they're going to get some bubbly or something, man. They're going to get some nip because I'm going to take care of them. If that's all they want, I'll give them that. If you want food, I've taken people to my home, to my relatives' homes, and fed them. You know what I mean? But that's the kind of things, you can do personally as a human being to help the situation out. During the holidays, everybody wants to be loved on a little bit or feel like somebody gives a shit about you. And there's all kinds of opportunity out around you. It's a matter of taking advantage of it and making sure just let somebody know you give a fuck, man. I mean, it's not that hard. You know what I mean? Take care of people, look after people. The holidays, they say the holidays is the time where, you know, people start losing folks and all that kind of stuff. I'm knocking on wood. But, you know, when it starts to get cold at this time of year, there's people out there all the time that are going to be underneath whatever they can find to get some sleep because they don't have the wherewithal anymore because they drink too much or they're doing drugs or just nothing or just don't have anywhere to go. Look after some folks, man. You know, go somewhere to the Dollar Tree and get a couple extra blankets or something. It don't cost you that much. But just do something for somebody, man. It's not that hard. You know what I mean? Helping people is like to me, that's what we're here for, is to look out for each other. You know, I think the essence of life is to see what you can do as a human being in this world to advance this world, make it better in your lifetime. And I really, truly think that's what we're here for. Whatever capacity that's in, just do something to help things better, get better. And I think you're doing your part in this life. And no matter what, nobody ever be able to tell you you're a failure because you've been doing your part. But with that being said, I just want to say thank you guys one more time before we get out of here. And I want to leave you with these famous words. If you can think it, people, and you can see it, there's no reason in the world why you cannot absolutely manifest it. But with that being said, we are